What's up, everybody? You were tuned in to the Cris Style
Mal.
Podcast, episode 221, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good day, whatever you're doing. You're at home, work. We appreciate y'all tapping into the live stream. If you're listening on the playback, we appreciate you too. Leave a comment in the comment section. We got a big slate today, y'all. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, from college football to NFL football, playoffs on both sides, NBA news. And we play a little game with Maul today, a little football game today with Maul, just to get his opinion on certain quarterbacks and how he feels on certain teams, what they should do with their quarterbacks going forward. And yeah, man, we got a full slate for y'all, man. So before we get into that, Maul, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good. Obviously, my dog is feeling good. If y'all can hear her in the background. Now I feel amazing, man. Yesterday was a great day for me. Got our number one pick early. Got that out the way. Watched my Raiders beat the Chiefs for the first time in Allegiant Stadium. Lakers got a dub. Yeah, man, I'm feeling great, man. Cannot complain. Great start to the year, brother. How are you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. Spent the weekend with the lady for her birthday. Got a hotel room in the Badara, and we went to Ocean Prime.
Oh shit, y'all did it fancy, huh? That's what's up. That's what's up.
It's really good food there, man. Shout out to the people at Ocean Prime. Really good service. She enjoyed herself, man. So that's all that matters.
And shout out to wifey, man. Good.
Yeah,
glad y'all enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's kick this thing off, man. It's Black Monday, y'all. We all know after the last game of the NFL season, Monday is called Black Monday, and it kicked off early, man.
Real early. Last night.
Right when we woke up, it was like, yeah, he got fired. It's over. I know you're happy. Your Raiders fired Pete Carroll, let him go of his services, which deservingly so. Look, man, Pete kind of old, man. Ain't even kind of. He is old.
He's yeah.
And it just showed this season how old he is.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty for sure you guys are going to be looking at a more younger, youthful, spriteful coach that can get the job done. With you guys having the number one overall pick, I'm pretty for sure most coaching candidates are going to be putting in their resume to be the Raiders coach, because you guys have the top pick
and $100+ million in cap space too.
Nice, good cap space, So there's a lot you could work with this team, with the Raiders team. So I'm pretty for sure there's going to be a lot of candidates for that. The Giants, we already knew. Brian Daboll got fired in the middle of the season. Mike Kafka was the interim coach. I'm pretty for sure there's going to be people being slated for candidates for that too. I'm hearing, one of the coaches that got fired today is a candidate for that. And the Titans are, of course, in season. Fired Brian O'Callaghan. We're already hearing that Matt Nagy, Chiefs OC, is stays back. I don't think Spags did it, but I do think that Nagy is the front runner for that job. I just think that Baganzi, he used to be our assistant GM, so he knows Nagy really well. They have a really, really good relationship. So I do think Nagy is the front runner for that. I would be surprised if Nagy doesn't get that job. Browns fired Kevin Stefanski, which me and Maul have been saying all season that he should be let go, just the way he handled the Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel situation, them drafting Dylan Gabriel. This lets me know that ownership sides with Andrew Berry on this, and I can see them now. Maybe they're going forward, at least for next season, they're going forward with Shedeur Sanders. And they're going to try to build an offense around him. I think that defense is fine. You know what I'm saying? It's really one of the better defenses in this league.
You still got Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward.
Mason Graham's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So I see them trying to add to this offensive line, trying to get this some weapons around Shedeur Sanders and see what they got next year. And if things don't work out with Shedeur Sanders, then 2027 they'll probably be drafting a quarterback. Falcons let go of Raheem Morris, even though they had a solid back end of the season. I still saw the writing on the wall. I know they said they brought in a consultant for the GM and for Raheem Morris. You saw the writing on the wall for that. once they start bringing consultants in and kind of taking your power away from you, yeah, buddy, you about to get fired. Him and him actually got fired. And some people were surprised by this. I wasn't particular. I've been asking Maul all season that he think Jonathan Gannon's job was safe, and we saw this morning it wasn't, which is kind of crazy because they wished him a happy birthday yesterday. Fired his ass today.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to laugh at the man, but so the Cardinals job is open. I'm laughing at you, Bengals fans, because you decided to keep Zach Taylor on one season. Woo!
Happy New Year's, man. Happy New Year's, Mark.
Yeah, Happy New Year's, Mark. But yeah, Bengals are keeping Zach Taylor. We'll see what happens with Tampa Bay. Will Tampa Bay keep?
I think they're going to stick with him. I think they're sticking with him.
Yeah, they're sticking with Todd Bowles.
And John Harbaugh.
Oh,
I see what's up with him.
From what I'm hearing, they're not walking away from John. From what I'm hearing, I think they said they're going to keep him. So, what is your overall thoughts on Black Monday? I put Black Monday.
Yeah, Black Monday. I don't know why they gotta say Black Monday. I don't know why. Everything dim gotta be black. But anyways, that's another conversation for another day. You want to respond to
that? It's Zim. What do you expect?
Okay. I'll start off with this. I'll start off with the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, look, I just think they're insane at this point. I think that whole organization, I think Joe Burrow, I think Jamar Chase, I think T. Higgins, I think they all need to look themselves in the mirror. I think all three of those guys are ultra talented. And I know there's been a lot of support for the head coach, but you guys are repeating what y'all been doing for the last 3 to 4 years, minus the 1 year y'all had where y'all made it to the Super Bowl. It's literally been the same story every year. Y'all start off slow. Joe Burrow gets hurt. Y'all try to, get out of it where you guys have a chance to win, but so many circumstances have to happen for you guys to make the playoffs. Your offense is fantasy championship worthy, but it's not Super Bowl. Your team is not Super Bowl championship worthy. Like, what do you guys want to be? You guys want to be known as the best fantasy football team to ever be known, or do you guys want to be known as real Super Bowl contenders? Because there's got to be real decisions that you guys need to make. And you got Joe Burrow. I'm like, Joe Burrow, do you want to go through another year of this? Do you really believe your head coach can get you guys out of this hump? Do you guys have the flexibility to make that defense worthy of something? Do you have any assets you can trade to make your team a whole lot better? I don't know. You know what I mean? Unless if you're willing to trade T, unless you're willing to trade Chase Brown, unless you can't trade Trey Henderson because he's off the books now. Like, you guys only have so much assets besides Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Those are your three, but that's what makes your offense you. You know what I mean? So what could you possibly want to do? So I don't know. Cincinnati Bengals, I think. And then on top of that, this is why the Bengals, like, at first, when Chris and I've been hearing, Chris, Mark, and all you guys always talk about, like, man, Bengals, I hate them motherfuckers so much. I can't stand them. I'm starting to understand why. Because you got idiots. No, I ain't gonna say idiots. Respectfully, they made some dumbass comments yesterday. Like, you guys are a terrible fucking team, and you guys are bitching that they stopped the game for Myles Garrett breaking the sack record. Like, what are you, Jamar Chase, talking about? That's like me catching my 10th pass. No, it isn't, bro. It's not even close to that. It's not even close. That sack record is sacred. We've had some of the all-time greats not even get close to that record, and Myles Garrett beat it by 1. Legitimately, this ain't even a Strahan situation where Brett Favre just laid down and gave him the record. Like, Myles Garrett earned that. It got to the point where I was like, I don't know, bro, he's gonna get it.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? I was looking at that TV. I'm like, man, I want him to break it, but I don't know. Like, they're calling plays to go away from him. They're double, triple teaming him. Like, and then he finally got it, and I felt relief for him, especially with his family in the stands and stuff like that. But yeah, y'all bitching because they stopped the game. And they didn't even stop it that long. They stopped it for like a quick 2 minutes. Myles Garrett ran off the field, celebrated with his teammates on the field, and then he ran off. And then next thing you know, 3 minutes later, they're running the playback. I'm like, this organization is terrible, bro. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, am I surprised that are they not going to get off of Bulls, I am a little surprised just based on how I get it. They won the final game against the Carolina Panthers, but even then, the game wasn't even like dominant. They didn't look really that good. If Bryce Young could make a couple throws, like Panthers might win that game. The way they folded, like this team was just too offensively talented to fold the way they did. I think even on the defensive side, they still have some pieces on that side where it's just no reason why this team should have lost this division. And if I'm the Buccaneers, it's like you got to it's another situation. You got to take a long, hard look. The Baltimore Ravens, they need to get off of Harbaugh. I'm sorry. That game yesterday was atrocious. It was atrocious. I know we're going to talk about that game, but some of the play calling was terrible. Like you had Derrick Henry, who almost had 100 yards in the first quarter. Then you decide to limit him. I was watching the game yesterday with Flanagan and everybody, and I looked at the stat, bro. Like Lamar Jackson only threw like 10 passes going into the third quarter. I'm like, hey, you refuse to use his legs. You know what? I'm going to say that for the Ravens game. But Harbaugh got to go, bro. I'm sorry. Who else we got? Giants. We already know what's up with that. We got to see what's up. I wouldn't be surprised if that's like a Mike McCarthy situation. I wouldn't be surprised if it's – I think they need to get more offensive minded. The Browns, I think they need an offensive minded head coach. I think that could be a Mike McCarthy, Clint Kubiak type of situation. If you want to kind of try to change the culture, maybe like Brian Flores or something like that. My Raiders, obviously, y'all everybody know how I feel about Pete. I want to thank Pete because you are the first coach in a very long time to allow us to get a number one pick, Antonio Pierce. And you know what about the Giants? I'm shocked that they're asking Antonio Pierce. I think maybe they're just kind of doing a Rooney Rule type shit, but I think it's hilarious that they're trying to give Antonio Pierce an actual chance at interviewing for the job. I just think there's different ways you can go about it. I think there's other black coaches I think who are more well deserved than Antonio Pierce to get an actual interview than him, but that's another story for another day. But back to my Raiders, it's not surprised. I think Pete Carroll. I want to congratulate Pete Carroll for allowing us to be this ass, and this is probably the worst Raiders team I've ever seen in my life. I want to send him off. Like at the end of the day, I'm not going to disrespect him. He's still an all-time great coach, college and pro. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach. He's a college champion head coach. He had probably one of the top 5, top 10 greatest teams of all time with that Reggie Bush squad and Matt Leinart squad. So I want to shout out to him for allowing us to be as ass as possible. Now that he's gone, I hope he can go into retirement, enjoy life, enjoy retirement, enjoy wifey, enjoy family. You deserved it. I just think it's past your years. I know you have energy in the practice, but it's different trying to rebuild the squad. I've heard names from – I keep hearing the Brian Flores, Brian Dable combination where Brian Flores will be the head coach and Brian Dable will be the OC. If that's the case, I'm loving it. I'm loving it because I think Brian Flores got a raw deal with the Miami Dolphins. Like, look, he didn't want Tua. He was correct. He didn't want Tua. He was correct. That team, I get it. Maybe he was a little rough around the edges when he first became a head coach, but I think he's learned a lot from that instance and the instance he's been with the Vikings. That Vikings defense was really good. It's just that offense could not do shit. You got J.J. McCarthy under that center. It's not really a good look. So I think Brian Flores can be the culture changer. And we all know Brian Daboll, I think he's one of the best quarterback coaches in the league, in the NFL. He can develop quarterbacks in the NFL. So we get my guy Mendoza. He elevates him, and I think we're booming. I know a lot of people think like we're like not this ultra talented team. I think we got some talent. Like we seen. Look, I'm not asking for us to have like a quick turnaround, but it's very possible. We've seen it with the Detroit Lions. We've seen it with the Chicago Bears. We've seen it with the Jacksonville Jaguars. You need a great head coach, a great foundation, and a quarterback. If you got those two, sky's the limit. Anything is possible, especially with the weapons of Bowers, Genty. I love Trey Tucker. I think Trey Tucker is a great deep threat. I still think we need a number one receiver. We'll see how Deontay Thornton develops. A lot of these young guys didn't get a lot of playing time. A lot of people a lot of people I'm sure haven't watched the Raiders this year because we're that terrible, and I'm not blaming y'all. But a lot of our rookies didn't get a lot of playing time. That was one of the biggest issues with us as Raiders fans is that we know we are terrible. Play the young guys. There's no reason why like any of these old vet guys should be still on the field. We know who they are. They're not going to be here next year. We got to get the young talent in. Let's get them some reps. Let's see if they even can be on the squad this time next year and see if what things we need to develop. if they just are complete ass, or they can have some potential. So I just don't think we know as far as like with the rookie class that we drafted. Obviously, Genty, I think he's going to be great, but we got to upgrade that O-line. It's a lot of things that the Raiders need to do, but I think we do have a very, very attractive job. And I'm going to be very curious to see how Tom Brady and John Spicek go about it. With the $100 million, we got a whole bunch of draft assets. We still got to figure out about Max Crosby. If we do, I would love for Max to be here, but I understand trading him might be the best for the squad because Max Crosby is not a talent that is fit for a rebuild, even though a quick rebuild could be possible, but we all know he wants to win. I want to see him retire as a Raider, but if he doesn't want to be here and we can get 2 first-round picks on top of what we have, you got to go ahead and do it. So overall, man, am I surprised by any of the rest of them? No. The Cardinals position, we got to see what's up. They got a lot of questions over there. That defense, I think if that team played a little bit hard, it's just that defense was terrible, man. They got routed on that type of situation. They got to figure out the quarterback situation. They got to figure out a trade for Kyle Murray. We got to see what kind of market he has. Who else we got? Falcons were Raheem Morris. I could see that being a Clint Kubiak job if he doesn't come to the Raiders, if he's available. I could see that where he could be a potential because you got all that offensive talent. And then on top of that, you got to figure out about Michael Penix. I know a lot of people still I just think with his knees, man, I just can't do it. I can't trust it. So but overall, man, I'm not surprised, man. I'm just ready, especially for me, to see who we go after and reestablish who we can be as a Raiders team.
Yeah, for sure. Your Raiders, like I said, man, like I said in the beginning, it's all about, what you guys do with that first round pick. I mean, everybody knows you're gonna probably get Mendoza. But what you guys
or more. We got to see what's up, but Mendoza is the favorite right now.
Well, I did see a video clip of Todd McShay talking about that Moore's agent is trying to contact the Raiders to see.
Yeah, trying to see if he's number one because no one wants to play for the Jets.
Yeah. So, but
that's kind of. But to answer you when you said this, sorry to cut you off. No, it's kind of hard to go about that because number one, Mendoza's probably in the lead. Now, could Dante Moore potentially usurp him as the process goes? Yeah, but that's going to take months. He needs to make a decision pretty damn quick here, whether he wants to enter the draft or not. So I get he don't want to play for the Jets. Me personally, I think Dante Moore should probably just go stay for another year. I think that's a safe bet for him. But then you're kind of going into a loaded draft. So and that could affect your draft slot. This might be your best chance to be a top 2, top 3 pick. You know what I mean? That opportunity might not be there unless if you want to wait another year after next year, which he could, I guess, potentially could do. But this could be a situation where the strike while the iron is hot. Whether you're number 1 or number 2, this might be your best chance to be a top pick and get that big time rookie contract.
Yeah, for sure. With the Giants, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with their head coaching. I think they're going to fire. They supposedly said they're going to fire the GM, but they're having the GM.
I think they're going to. From what I've heard, they were going to keep. What's his name? Shin.
Yeah, something like
Shin
that.
Or something like that. Yeah, I heard they were going to keep him. That's what I heard from. I think that was from Tom Pelissero or somebody like that. They were going to most likely keep him.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what direction they go with the head coach. Because
who do you think should go for that? Who you think should be highlighted in the interviews for that Giants head coaching job?
I'm trying to think of names. I mean, Clint Kubiak is one of them.
Here's some of the names. You got Brian Flores. Here's some of the top head coaching candidates. You got Brian Flores. You got Chris Shula. You got Jesse Minter. You got Clint Kubiak, Jeff Hafley. You got Mike McCarthy, Todd Monken, Robert Saleh, Cliff Kingsbury. Those are just some.
Cliff is an interesting one. I think Cliff is one. It'd be interesting to see if Commanders allow him to go to the Giants.
Joe Brady, OC for the Bills. Joe Brady.
Him too is another one. He's another one.
Matt Nagy. Could you see Matt Nagy?
No, I don't see that. Nagy. I think Nagy's only head coaching prospect is the Titans.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think some organization will be an idiot to give Josh McDaniels another opportunity at a head coaching job?
Yeah, you've seen it twice, and it went the same way.
So you think somebody will make the same mistake in
They
hiring
always
him?
they've hired plenty of head coaches. They want to give what's your boy Arthur Smith multiple chances.
I just think there's writing on the wall with some of these guys. I just think Josh McDaniels is a great OC, but can you run a team? No.
Because he's stubborn and he wants to do things his way.
Yeah.
And he thinks because he was part of that Patriot organization that was winning Super Bowls, he thinks his way is the right way. No, it was Belichick. It was Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. Yes. Were you a cog in that? Yes, of course you was. But it's different when you run the team. And I just don't think he's a head coach that galvanizes the troops. Like, you always hear bad stuff about him when he interacts with his teammates or his players. I mean, and his coaches too. Like, he downplays them and alienates them and talk crazy to him. Belichick can kind of do that and get away with that. You can't.
No, I agree. I just think I just can't. I just want to sleep on Harbaugh. Like, I think there's a potential for him moving on somewhere else. I wouldn't even sleep on Mike Tomlin. Like, there's no guarantee that they win. It's going to be tough for them to win against the Texans, against that defense. Like, the Baltimore Ravens defense was ass yesterday. Like, me and Chris can get open on that, on them corners. Them corners were just terrible. So I wouldn't sleep on Mike Tomlin. Let's say the Texans blow out the Steelers first round exit. Like, I think there's going to be conversations about Mike Tomlin. You already hearing rumors about him potentially maybe going in CV for a year, taking a break, and then going looking at coaching job situations, especially with the quarterback class coming out next year. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of questions with the Ravens. Is Lamar going to be there? Is Harbaugh going to be there? You know.
Oh no! From like I said, from what I'm hearing, John Harbaugh is safe. So
I don't think they'll fire him, but would he want to go somewhere else? You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see.
It's more attractive or something like that. Like, I think if Harbaugh would become available, do the Browns call? See, like, yo, what do we need to trade y'all? Do the Giants call? Yo, do we need to trade y'all? Falcons, what's up? You know what I mean? If Harbaugh becomes available, do the Buccaneers change their mind? You know, do some of these other teams change their mind? You know what I mean?
Is the game past Harbaugh? Has the game passed Harbaugh?
Has the game passed Harbaugh? That's a really great question.
Because I don't know, man.
He leaves a lot to be desired from me.
Maybe he needs to take a step back.
I think he does. I think he needs a break, because I think it got to the point where, number one, you see it anytime in pressurized games, he second guesses what he does. He runs away from stuff that has worked. He tries to get cute. I think he coaches scary sometimes. I think the fear that we used to have in Harbaugh defensive squads, you don't have that no more. I don't know why. Maybe a lot of that has to do with losing the defensive coordinator who ended up becoming the coach of the Seattle Seahawks. We see what he's been able to do with that squad. He's got them looking like the Ravens of old as far as like that defense. I don't know. I think he's lost disconnect with Lamar. I think that press conference at the end said a lot. Like, I know Lamar kind of said that he was still stuck in the moment of them losing that heartbreaking game, but I think it's very easy for him in that moment to be like, nah, I love playing for my head coach. I want him here this year, no matter how I personally feel in this moment and shock of losing this game that we should have won. He could have easily said that I back Harbaugh. I think that says a lot. I think that right there told you right then and there that at that moment that there is a disconnect between Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh. And I think the Ravens organization is going to have to choose which one you want to go forward with. Do you want to go forward with Harbaugh and have trust in him as a head coach going into his 20th season as the Ravens head coach, and going into the future with him and getting off of a multiple time MVP winner who I know a lot of people like to trash Lamar Jackson and say he can't win the big games, but I'm gonna be honest with you. When you really look at these last couple games, it wasn't Lamar's fault. It really wasn't Lamar's fault. Lamar showed up. So I don't know. That's the conversation they're going to have. I don't think we're going to see a Harbaugh Lamar Jackson year next year. together. I personally don't see that unless if they have a sit down meeting and they come together and be like, all right, like what's some of the stuff we got to iron out? What are our issues? Let's try to figure it out. If they don't do that, I just personally can't see. I personally can't see them working together. I can't.
Yeah, I mean that you could be right on that. Like I said, that'd be something that we'd have to see. We'd have to see. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It is a weird situation because, like I said, I think things have gotten stale over there, and I do think that one of them has to go.
Yeah, one. Who would you choose?
One of them.
If you're the owner of the Baltimore Ravens, who are you choosing?
I'm picking Lamar Jackson. I'm picking the guy I'm picking the talent over the coach. Unless the talent was just trash, then yeah, I'm picking, saying whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm picking the talent because the talent is always going to out-trump what's going on, with the coach. We can get a coach. And like I said, the culture is set by the coach. So maybe we need new culture around the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's a franchise quarterback who's the top 3, top 4, depending on who you're talking to, quarterback. This ain't no run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-pack quarterback.
Mm-hmm. No. This is a top. This is arguably a top 3, top 4 quarterback. He's no lower than top 4. He's no lower than top 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a guy who's spoken with the Allens, the Mahomes, and the Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to add Matthew Stafford in that too, cool. But he's mentioning those guys. This is a multiple MVP guy.
Not too many of them had that. Burrow don't have that. Yeah,
so I'm picking the quarterback over there. Now, if you was talking about, I don't know, somebody else, I don't know, name somebody that's kind of middle of the pack, then I'll probably take the coach.
Hell, if Lamar Jackson was like 34, 35 years old, then I'll be like, all right, I get it. Because, he's kind of like, he's past his, Lamar Jackson's still in the prime. He's still in the heart of his prime. Bro, Lamar Jackson ain't slowing down. Let's stop with that. He proved that yesterday. He looked good yesterday. He looked healthy yesterday. He looked motivated. He looked inspired. And I agree with you. This offense needs a revamp. This defense needs a revamp. This culture needs a revamp. That all screams coaching staff to me. That all screams coaching staff to me. And then they honestly need to look at the GM as well. Me personally, they need to look at that GM as well, because I don't care what anybody says. Zay Flowers looked really good, but you could still tell they're missing a weapon. You could still tell they're missing a weapon. You could still tell this defense has a lot of holes. And my God, I love Kyle Hamilton, but I would personally try to get off Kyle Hamilton, bro. That man is like the AD of the NFL, bro. He is ultra talented, but every time I watch a Ravens game, this man is getting carted off the field. Like, respectfully. Like, it is to the point where he is a Pro Bowl talent. He is a Hall of Fame talent, but I cannot trust this man. If I'm the Ravens, if there's a possibility where, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if there's a possibility that Caleb Downs drops a little bit, go get Caleb Downs. If there's a possibility, I think they should be focused on Caleb Downs or Mekhi Lemon or something like that. That's what I personally think, because there's a potential those two guys could potentially be in those spots, depending. I think Caleb Downs will be a lot harder to probably get just because of certain situations. But again, a lot of people have a tough time drafting a safety that high in the draft. So, I think that's a conversation to be talked about as well. So I just think they need to reset as a whole, from coaching staff to front office. That's what I personally think. I think you have the reputable assets with Derrick Henry getting older. He still looks really good. He don't look like he's slowing down. And it looks like the Derrick Henry could have another 2-3 years. Honestly, the way his body's looking,
I would still.
If you obviously don't get me wrong. I'm saying, like, yeah, obviously you still get a reputable backup running back, but I still think he could be your number one running back, at least for the next year or two. At least for the next year or two. But then get a rookie who can eventually take over the throne. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
Or if you really want to get froggy with it, potentially dangle him as a trade asset. Like, see what you can get for him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you're going to get a first, but if you can get a 4th round pick for him or something like that, then, maybe you can get that, because I still think Derrick Henry can be a person that can take a team over the hump offensively. You know what I'm saying? I still think he could be that player.
No,
like the Ravens would be an amazing fit for Derrick Henry. Me personally, like if you put Derrick Henry on this Texans team, I think he'll look really good. You know what I mean? That's what they need.
Yeah, they do need that. But yeah, I agree. As far as the Titans go, man, they got to get somebody in there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if it's Nagy, but you got to get somebody who can get the best out of Cam Ward.
I like Clint Kubiak. I think they should really talk to Clint Kubiak. I think what he's doing over there in Seattle, I think it's really good. I think Kubiak should be one of the big names. I think with the Raiders,
Mike LaFleur is another.
Mike LaFleur, yeah, we got to see what's up with even LaFleur with Green Bay. You know, there's still rumors about him potentially maybe getting let go, depending on how they look in these playoffs. So we got to see. I think there still could be some moves that could surprise some people, honestly, that names could get brought up.
The Cardinals are an interesting situation because you got to figure out what you're going to do with Kyler Murray.
I think you have to figure out about a lot of stuff. What are you going to do with James Conner? What are you going to do with?
I think he's done. I think they cut him.
Yeah, like what are you going to do with this defensive side? Like what are you going to do with Kyler Murray? Like what kind of assets could you get Kyler Murray? I don't think. Can you get? I don't think you. Maybe a third. Maybe a third. Maybe a third.
I wouldn't trade a third for no Kyler Murray.
I wouldn't trade a third for Kyler Murray. And you know me, I'm a Kyle. I stuck with Kyler Murray. Like at the end of the day, there could be somebody that's desperate enough to be like, all right, fuck it. We don't, like, there's no quarterback in the draft. Like this could be the perfect situation for the Cardinals because there's no quarterback in the draft. Let's say Dante Moore don't come out. All right. So that takes it off. Raiders aren't trading out of that number one pick. They're not. They're going to take Fernando Mendoza. They're going to take a youthful quarterback unless they get offered like Burrow, Josh Allen, maybe Lamar. You know what I mean? One of those three guys. Those are the only three guys I think the Raiders would consider, but I think they want to go more youth and build for longevity. So you take Dante Moore out, you take Fernando Mendoza out. Ty Simpson ain't impressive. Anybody else coming out in this draft ain't impressive. Who else do you got in free agency? Are you gonna try to call Joe Flacco? You got Mac Jones. Hold on. My bad. My apologies.
Because that's for the game later. That is for the game.
Oh, my bad. I apologize. I'm getting ahead. My bad, people. I'm getting ahead.
You didn't know. I'm just saying. Hold on. I'm sorry. I just thought about that when you was talking about quarterback. Hold on.
My bad. I apologize. I'm getting ahead of myself right now. It's just a lot. It's a lot of interesting conversations. That's all.
Yeah, no doubt. The Falcons are another interesting situation. Like you said, Michael Penix, there's another leg injury. He's an older quarterback at that. So it's just like, do you just bank on it for one more year and say bump it? And if it don't work out, 2027, we get a quarterback.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Give me your top three from 3 to 1 jobs available right now.
I would say yours because you're number one because you guys got the number one overall pick. And
I think we're number one.
It's a clean slate over there. You can build
$100 million in free cap space.
Yeah, the $1 million cap space, and I think this is the year where you guys are finally trying to right the wrongs that you've been doing and going about. Doing y'all stuff. Now, if y'all get the wrong head coach, we'll have another conversation for another day.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
So I would say Raiders. I would say Titans because they're in a similar situation. They already have their quarterback, but they got a lot of cap space. They do have a lot of cap space. So I think they're number 1 or number 2 in cap space. So they're up there. The third one is difficult. Maybe the Giants. I probably have to say the Giants for right now. Just because you do have key pieces in Jackson Dart. You do have Malik Neighbors coming back. I know he's coming out for knee injury, but, you're still getting Cam back. That defensive line is already pretty much set with Tibbs and Brian Burns and then, Abdul Carter, you know what I'm saying? You get him in the second year. I would probably say, huh?
How much cap space they got?
I think their cap space is not that bad. I could be wrong.
Let me see what they got. They're projected to have approximately 18 million, about 18.5 million in cap space.
That's not bad. I'm pretty sure they'll restructure some stuff to get a little bit more. But yeah, I'll probably say Raiders, Titans, Giants. The top
I
three
agree with you.
that you would want right now. If you're a head coach, if you're a top prospect head coach, the Browns, that's last.
I agree. Is that last? I don't know. I agree with Mark. Like if they weren't in salary cap hell, then yeah, I think there would be an attractive. I think they could be top three.
I think that's the reason. But it's also
salary cap. Yeah, you still got Deshaun Watson on the books.
It's just dealing with that ownership. They're just bad, bro. I think Andrew Berry possibly could be a cool little DM. I think he's trying to make it right over there. I think he wanted the Shador Sanders to be early, but Kevin Stefanski got in the way and wanted his guy or whatever to slight Shador Sanders or whatever. I don't know. But
they're in salary cap hell, but don't they have like the extra first round picks for the next couple years or something like
that? They do.
And so that could be a benefit.
That's not bad. Yeah, that is
not bad. You know what I mean? They just got because how much longer they're on the books for Deshaun Watson. I feel like once they get off of the Deshaun Watson deal, I think the cap pretty much opens up a little bit. But
probably a couple more years. Oh no, look it up.
I'll look it up.
Deshaun Watson's.
Let me see. Let me see. Deshaun Watson contract. Signed in 2022. Watson's contract is a 5-year, $230 million deal, includes a $44.965 million signing bonus.
So after next year, he'll be a free agent.
Okay, so yeah, just gotta make it through a year. So yeah, honestly,
you know
what? Maybe the Browns, like if you could stomach for another year, it's not like it's a bad team. I think they can be respectable. I think they can compete for that division, especially with a lot of turmoil that's in that division right now. Honestly, you know what? I don't think it's as bad as people think. I don't think it's as bad as people think. I think that Brown situation could be a little bit better. I think that Brown situation is a little bit better. What?
Jesus.
What?
So he has a void year next season. So that's how he would become a free agent.
Oh, okay.
His dead cap money,
$50 million for next year.
If he gets cut in 2027, his dead cap is $50 million.
Oh my God! All right, never mind, bro. Never mind. Cap space wise, yeah, they're gonna be in hell. They
can't let him go next year because if they cut him next year, it's $131 million dead cap hit. You can't do that. You have to keep him on the books.
Nah, I think low key,
his base salary is $80 million next year, or his cap hit. Yeah, his cap hit is at $80 million next year. His base salary is $46 million.
Yeah, Browns are it's in a tricky situation because I think this team is ultra talented. I think they got some pieces that can compete. But then you're gonna have to obviously that's gonna be the conversation going into the offseason. Like you're gonna have to deal with that Shador Sanders, Deshaun Watson issue because with the amount of money, a dead cap that he's worth and how much money they're paying him, now that he's finally healthy, there's gonna be conversations of him potentially being a starting quarterback next year, especially if people don't like what they're seeing from Shador. So.
And the thing about the offense is they got a couple of key pieces. Hopefully Quinshon Judkins comes back from that leg injury.
Yeah, fine. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he should be fine. You got Dylan Sampson to back him up. So you got a nice little two-headed monster in the backfield. Harold Fanning looks like he's going to be a weapon that you could use.
That H-back. They need a receiver. I think they need the top tier.
I wouldn't be surprised when Joku's gone next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just currently right now. You know what I
mean? Yeah. But I think they like Harold Fanning. I think he'll move into that number one tight end. So I think him and Shador are starting to build a little chemistry. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do. I don't know if Jerry Jeudy's a free agent, but I don't know. Keep him.
Get up, man.
But they do need a number one wide receiver. I'm in the mindset, and we can talk about the draft in a minute. But I'm in the mindset they should be going all in on weapons next season.
Oh yeah,
Because I
100%.
think their defense is fine. I mean, maybe you add another corner or linebacker or whatever. Because I think their defensive line will be fine.
Yeah, defensive line. You got Myles Garrett on there, bro. He fixes a lot
yeah,
of shit, bro.
yeah. Like I said, Mason Graham will be a year better next year.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I think that they need to go all in on offense next year.
Me
That's
too.
whatever head coach they get, they need to go all in on offense. Put enough weapons that you can put around Shador Sanders. If you go all in, and which I think they are, because Andrew Berry, that's his pick. So I think they are going to go all in on Shador just for next season for sure. Now, if it goes awry and he doesn't look good, I think, like we always talk about, draft class of 2027. They're gonna go in there with a quarterback on their mind, maybe a Lenore Sellers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Arch Manning, if they wherever they picking. So I do think that they're gonna try
screams
to
a Mike McCarthy team. This screams like a Mike McCarthy team to me. It really did scream like a Mark McCarthy team.
It does. Ugh.
I honestly, bro, early thoughts. This is my early prediction. I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns win that division next year. I could see it, Doug. I really could. They just need to get the right direction and have a belief in Shador. If you have a belief in Shador, I think Shador should definitely be the starter over Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson should be the backup. I think Shador Sanders has earned that right. You put a belief system, you put some weapons around that. I wouldn't be surprised if they compete for that division next year.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it definitely. All right, man. You know what? Let's go in this direction. Let's go ahead and talk about the 2026 top 10 draft order. They announced it already. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. Pull the screen up. Boom. Bam. All right, man. So this is the draft order. We already know Las Vegas Raiders are the number 1 overall pick. The Jets are the number 2 overall pick. The Arizona Cardinals are number 3. Tennessee number 4. The Giants are number 5. Cleveland is number 6. Washington is number 7. New Orleans is number 8. My Chiefs are number 9, and number 10 is the Bengals. What are your overall thoughts after looking at this top 10 board? What are your thoughts?
Well, there's not much to say about the Raiders. At the end of the day, I'm happy we were able to get the number 1. I think Mendoza is pretty much signed, still delivered, unless, something tragic happens, injury or something like that. Hopefully he gets out of these playoffs healthy and stuff like that. But I think he'll end up being the number 1. I think obviously it gets really interesting at number 2. We got to see what Dante Moore does. If he decides to come out, I definitely see the New York Jets taking him. If not, if he doesn't come out, I think I don't know. Maybe there might be somebody that one of these teams might want to jump and get somebody at number 2, like whether it's an offensive line or defensive lineman or something like that, where the Jets can just pile some assets or something like that. But a lot of these, like Jets need a quarterback, Cardinals need a quarterback. It's just going to be interesting to see what they do. Tennessee Titans, I guess with them already having Cam Ward, I guess that could be a team that could potentially maybe one of those teams that tries to move up, maybe a spotter or something like that. Maybe if they want to get somebody. But I would probably just stay there, low key. Giants, it's gonna be kind of interesting to see what they end up doing. Do they decide to trade maybe one of their D linemen and get some additional picks or something to add some depth to that team? I'm trying to figure out what cornerbacks are coming out, and then maybe they could look at that route or something like that. Maybe obviously
the only
add
cornerback I've been hearing about, and he got hurt before the season, was the cornerback from Tennessee. The Gerard McCoy kid. He's supposed to be really, really good, but he got hurt. It's kind of like Will, what's his name? Went to the Cardinals from Michigan.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I forgot his name though. I know you're talking about though. Yeah. What did he get hurt? How did he get hurt? Was like hurt his knee or something?
Yeah, it's like a leg injury.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think he tore his ACL.
ACL? It should be fine. Yeah. I feel like with ACLs now, I feel like guys come back pretty good. You know what I mean? Unless if you just have debilitating knees or something like that. But I feel like most guys end up coming back stronger and stuff like that. I think medicine has just fully evolved. Cleveland Browns, I agree with you. Offensive talent. I think obviously they don't need Jeremiah Love. I think he's probably the best offensive player, but could this be a Mekhi Lemon situation? Could they trade back and knowing they can still get Mekhi Lemon or a receiver that they like? I think the Browns could be a situation where they could trade back and get some more
I
assets.
can see them picking a hometown kid.
Who?
Tate,
yeah. I almost forgot about him. Yeah, Cardinal Tate. Honestly, yeah. Cardinal Tate, I can definitely see that. I think that would be a great mix. Washington Commanders, Caleb Downs. I think that's the easiest situation. You need defense, number one, but I think Caleb Downs would be amazing for them because their quarterbacks.
If Bailey's there, I'm taking Bailey.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Bailey, if you obviously getting pressure on the quarterback is it depends because if you have a lockdown, well, obviously Caleb Downs is not a lockdown corner, he's a safety. So yeah, Bailey will obviously be the better option. So yeah, I would agree with you. I'll probably go with Bailey here. New Orleans Saints, I don't know. They need a little bit of everything, but yeah.
Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, I
put
can see
him
that.
and Olave together.
Your Chiefs at number 9. Who would you like to see? You know, this is the first time we saw y'all up this high in a long time. So
if it's not Bailey or Bain there, then I'm cool with Tate, Love, or Tyson.
For sure. And then the Cincinnati Bengals. If Caleb Downs is there, go grab him.
Yes.
You know, he'll probably be there. Go grab Caleb Downs. You know what I mean? He'll probably be the best defensive player left.
If by any stretch, but you know who I think they could probably, because the person that, because I can see the Giants, because the one kid that everybody's been talking about is Arvell Reese.
Oh yeah.
So I can see Arvell Reese kind of being that guy at the Jets. If the Jets don't get more, if Moore goes back, let's say Moore goes back to Oregon. I do think that Arvell Reese, Bain, or Bailey could be the pick for the Giants. Maybe Downs, but I don't know if you want to pick a safety that high. Even though he's a generational talent. I don't know if you're gonna pick a safety that high. So
yeah, it's tough.
That's tough, but you can get away with getting a pass rusher here with the Jets. So Bain, Bailey, or Reese could possibly with the Jets. The Cardinals should just pick best player available because they need so much stuff.
Yeah,
the Cardinals just need best player available. Maybe they're with the injury to Connor and Trey Benson not being what they thought he was going to be. Maybe this is a love pick.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I can honestly see the Commanders obviously go for O-line too. You got to protect. Yeah, you got to protect. Jaden Daniels, bro. You got to. So I can obviously see them get O-line
doing that too. I can see the
Titans. Yeah, I can see Titans getting O-line. I can see Titans getting O-line. I can see Giants getting O-line. I can see Washington getting O-line. I think the Saints like what they saw from Tyler Shook. I'm not mad. I think they should go forward with him another year. I think he's showing a lot. Yeah. I like what they did. I think they could potentially maybe go O-line. I think they need more defense. Well, do they really? Defense? I would say.
What's your name? Getting old, Cam Jordan. So
I think they kind of sense like this was his last year there in a sense.
Yeah, because he's already got like television shows and shit on.
Yeah, so and stuff like that. Yeah,
but if Bain somehow, because here's the situation with Bain. Even though you see the tape, we see this every year more. Dude could look incredible. The tape shows that he's clearly a baller, but they go off measurements. Oh, his arms, because that's the talk right now. His arms are too short. And they look at stuff like that with these offensive linemen being big, long arms, and he can get stopped. I can see him drop. And maybe the Saints taking to be the replacement for Cameron Jordan.
Let me ask you, what if the Bengals dangle T. Higgins to the Titans to try to move up? And add a first round pick. You think the Titans do that?
Higgins is worth
No, obviously you would have to add probably another first round pick, but you pair him up with Cam Ward. You get an extra first round pick. You get an extra first round pick plus your future receiver. Do the Titans take? Can you move back down to 10? You might still be able to get the O line that you want.
Yeah.
Like they're like the O linemen are. You know what I mean? So like I think that's a situation where you can like be like, look, Tennessee Titans like, yo, we'll go to the Bengals. Yo, give us T. Higgins another first round pick for like next year or something like that. And we move back down to 10. You guys come up to 4. You guys get top D lineman, you know what I mean? Whether it's a Bailey, whoever the case, because you guys obviously need defense. You need pressure on the quarterback. Obviously, you know what I mean? Some situation like that because you're not going to have Trey Henderson there. So you get your future star at D line. And then the Tennessee Titans, they get their future star. Obviously, I think they got the cap space to fit that deal in. And then you still get 10. You still get your O-line, and then you got an extra first round pick going into next year. I think that's something they got to look at. If I'm the Tennessee Titans, I consider that.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a big separation from the O-line. I don't think so. At least at the top O-line, man. I don't think there's not that big of a separation. So
no, because the only people I'm hearing about is the Spano kid and the kid from Miami, Francois, I think his name is.
So if you're the Bengals and Titans, do you do that? Would you consider that?
I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, if it happened, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think it'd be interesting. I think that should be a conversation.
Because if you get T. Higgins, and now you got T. Higgins, you already like what you see from Eli Maynor.
Mm-hmm. You got DK. You got DK. Nice. You know what I mean? So
you already got a nice little squad over there.
Mm-hmm. And you still get your O-line. So whether it's a left tackle or whatever the case may be, you get your left tackle. And then you just build up from there. I think if I'm the Tennessee Titans, man, I call the Bengals and be like, yo, like, what's up? What's up? Like, y'all in, you know what I mean?
You already paid for your left tackle on Dan Morgan. So you're definitely going to put them on the right side. It'd be like a Joe Alt situation.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, for sure.
He's a left tackle, but we got to put him on the right because we already got our left. Even though I wouldn't have paid Dan Morgan all that money. I don't think he's all that great, but yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that because, like you said, you get your number one guy. It helps the Bengals out because now they're boosting up their defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a win-win situation for both of them. So
yeah. It's like, okay, we're giving up a first round for next year. Like, but we're in a win now mode. So we got Joe Burrow. We got to start winning now. So we got to find pieces to add to this defense. You know what I mean? And then and worry about it down the line. So
yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see.
Could you see any other teams that potentially could trade up?
I think if my Chiefs can get another first round pick for Trent McDuffie,
you think they're gonna consider trading Trent?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do.
You don't think because they ain't trying to pay him?
That and they just trying to, you got to get that cap space down. And I think the cap ain't gonna be a problem. I think that they're gonna go. The first thing they're gonna do is go to Mahomes. I think they rip up that contract for him and give him a new deal. To bring down his cap money for next year.
Kelsey's off the books, so
Kelsey will be gone. I do think that Chris is coming back. They already said he's coming back, so I think that they're gonna figure out something with him too. So I think those two cap spaces will go down. Maybe they restructure Trey Smith's deal. Maybe they restructure Cree Hunt. Somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be Mahomes and somebody else that they restructure to get the cap money down. And I do think that because we only got 6 draft picks this year, so I do think that Trent McDuffie will be. And then after what, I know we lost yesterday, but Noah Williams was flying around yesterday.
What do you think you would get for Trent McDuffie? Like what pick would you think you could get? What round?
I think that there's some corners. I mean, there's some top heavy. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay says, "Hey," because like you just said, this is a weak corner room.
It is. I wouldn't be surprised if my Raiders were intrigued. You know what I mean? We need quarterback help for sure. I don't know if y'all do it, but I don't know if y'all do it. But
maybe Tampa Bay says, "Bump it. We'll give you this first."
You think you're gonna get a first for Trent?
I don't know
if you get it first.
I don't think you get the
third. I can see a third.
I don't see no Sauce Gardner deal, but I can see a first and maybe a fourth.
Oh, so you think you could get a first for Trent, huh?
Yeah, I do. Because I just think that this is a weak corner group. And so I think teams will get desperate. Like if you're Tampa Bay, you can make Trent your number one guy. If you're Detroit, Trent is instantly your number one corner.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see because I think currently right now, as far as like defensive player that's going to be the most coveted, I think Max Crosby probably the most coveted right now as far as like in the trading world. So I think a lot of the assets, a lot of these teams would probably look to save up would be for him. My percentages on who I think Max Crosby gets traded, to me, I think it's looking like 60-40. me personally, that they end up dual trading Max Crosby. Just from all the reports, it would suck for me to see, but I understand it. Especially, I think we could easily get 2 first-round picks for Max. So I think the Detroit Lions, I think Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders,
Bengals,
that's what I'm saying.
Bengals. You know what I mean? Maybe they can dangle us that number 10, and then a pick for next year for Max Crosby or something like that. If they want to add him to Cincinnati, and then we can have 2 top 10. I could see the Raiders maybe going for that if we could get 2 top 10 picks this year, or maybe for next year. I would more want it for next year because that draft is more loaded next year. But look, if we can get. But again, if we can get 10 and we can still get one of them top D linemen that's coming out this year, you know what I mean? Let's say some situation where Bailey has a instance where, you know, he's caught buying pussy off the street or some shit. He drops like you know what I mean? Like it's still a possibility, you know what I mean? Like we saw what happened to Jalen Carter right before the draft. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's still a possibility.
Putting stuff on my god. Damn.
Oh, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I don't think that's gonna happen, but we've seen it many times before, where it's a guy where you think he should go top 3, and then something comes out about him where he ends up dropping to, like we saw with Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was easily the number 1 pick that one year, but he ended up dropping to like 8, 9 or something like that when he shouldn't have. And it's a possibility, man. It's a possibility. Like, you know what I mean? I just think Crosby, if you can get it, I think the Bengals would consider it. I don't know. We'll see. Like, I think the Raiders could have the potential where they could have two first-round picks this year, depending on what they get from Max.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, AJ Brown's another one.
Yeah, I forgot AJ Brown. Is Addison traded or he free agent?
I think he's a free agent.
Free agent. Yeah. And then hey, I'm just gonna say this. If the Vikings don't get a quarterback for Justin Jefferson, don't be shocked if that motherfucker be like, yo, get me the fuck out of here. Now, obviously, they could re him up with a better contract, and obviously he can pull the Myles Garrett and be like, all right, I'll stay. But I think that's something to look at, man. I think that's something.
Get out of there, man. Get the hell out of there.
Yeah, man.
Talk about that.
You know what I mean? You would look good in Jay. You would look good in silver and black, big dog. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The ice goes well with the black. You know what I'm saying? You fit Vegas, Mendoza, the GOAT. You know what I mean? He gonna come in, bro. He gonna treat you right, big dog. You know what I mean? See what's up. See what's up.
All right, man.
I'll take a college
gears. Let's switch gears to college football playoff quarterfinals. It went down this weekend.
Yeah,
a lot of upsets.
Yeah, our brackets are cooked.
Yeah, they're done.
Our brackets are cooked.
So the quarterfinals, we had Oregon versus Texas Tech. We had Alabama versus Indiana, Ole Miss versus Georgia, and we had Ohio State versus Miami. The U. Hold on, give me a second, people. So the first game was the Miami Hurricanes versus Ohio State. Miami ended up winning in an upset, 24-14. This game wasn't really that close at all. That defensive line of Miami was giving Ohio State's offensive line pure hell. Ruben Bain, Akeem Mesidor was all in Stan's face all night. And all Miami had to do on offense was just do just enough. Carson Beck, don't fuck it up. That's all he had to do. Don't mess this up. Get the ball in your playmaker's hands, and we got it from here on defense. And that's what happened, man. They just whooped their ass up and down the field. And it just wasn't close, man. This was one of Sam's worst games. I know people want to try to blame the whole lingering of bye weeks and all that stuff. I just think Miami came to play and Ohio State did.
Yeah, we got to stop. We got to stop with these bye weeks. Y'all weren't saying that when Ohio State was boat rolling through everybody. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
They had a bye week last year, didn't they?
No, they had to play Tennessee the first round, but we seen it, man. Come on, man. I just think that, like, look, I know we're gonna talk about it, but there were teams that looked really good years prior who had bye weeks. Like, man, that's just, I don't think it's an excuse no more. We gotta stop that.
Yeah, it was a testament of a weak ass schedule. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I agree. But yeah, man, it was Miami scored both of his touchdowns before the half, before lead, building a 14-point lead. There was a big pick six, crucial for return that kept the Ohio State offense off the field. And it was just pure dominance, man. Like if you were wondering about Ruben Bain, he put the tape out there.
Yeah, ain't nothing to
Even
worry about.
Akeem Mesidor, I know Akeem Mesidor is an older player, but even if you were looking at him like second, third round,
Yeah,
dude, and he's
he
an
come
older
in, he
guy.
can come right in and play for you right now.
Yeah, because he's older, so he's more mature, and he's already where he's supposed to be probably. So you get him on your defensive line, like you're Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like you put him on your defensive line, that's gonna help.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Cincinnati Bengals in the second round. Akeem Mesidor sitting there, pick him up.
Yeah, take him.
Then one of my biggest disappointments in this playoffs was this Texas Tech versus Oregon game. I thought Texas Tech was coming out booming. How does a team that's scoring like 30-something points a game, they can't even get on the damn board because the quarterback of Texas Tech was terrible. He was bad. It was not good. The Texas Tech defense was good. Really good. Most of the game, David Bailey was flying all around the field. Them linebackers, Rodriguez and all them, was doing their thing. Kept them in the game even well into the fourth quarter. But the Texas Tech offense couldn't move the ball to save their damn life. And the quarterback is named Morton. He looked shook. He looked shook from the jump. He looked like the moment was just too big for him. And so they wasted this defense on the quarterback, and this is when Dante Moore, he had a pretty solid game. It wasn't great, but he had to do too much because the defense of Oregon was all over Texas Tech's offense, and they just could not move the ball down the field. So, shout out to Oregon. They're moving on to the next round, but Texas Tech, and we'll talk about transfer portal stuff. But Texas Tech. Hopefully y'all can get back next year. Y'all got a lot of stuff going on for y'all. I know there's a billionaire alumni dude who's pumping in money to y'all. So, and we see it with the quarterback you just got. But yeah, man, y'all wasted this season for sure. Then in the Rose Bowl, Indiana destroyed Alabama. I repeat, Indiana destroyed Alabama 38-3. Nick Saban is rolling over on the desk right now because Alabama got smoked. And the SEC dominance, it's been over, but it's over now. I don't hear nothing about the SEC. Indiana out physical them, out coached them, and outplayed them. It was not close. I don't hear no excuses for Alabama. They got ran off the field. They were the lesser than team. Indiana was better than them by a long shot. Shout out to Fernando Mendoza. Sir, you have solidified yourself as the number one overall pick. Start picking your house out for Vegas because you balled out. And Alabama, Kellen DeBoer, boy, you better win next year. You better get some good. You better get something good in the transfer portal. That's all I got to say. And then last but not least, probably the best game of this weekend was the Ole Miss and Georgia game. This was all offense. Trinidad Chambliss balled out. But Stockton, he didn't play too bad either. And it was just a back and forth between Georgia and Ole Miss. But Ole Miss ended up putting that 39-34. But hey, shout out to both teams. They laid it out on the field, man. Ole Miss, they're kind of like that Cinderella story because of Lane Kiffin leaving, and them boys are still out there playing. They're playing inspired football. You can't ask for nothing more than that. Shout out to Georgia though. They tried to put out there Zakiya Branch. You made you some money on draft night, buddy, because you kept them in this game. But outside of that, Ole Miss is moving on, and we'll do our picks on Wednesday. But yeah, man, it was probably the game of the week.
Yeah.
What,
No,
what
go
were your
ahead.
overall thoughts on everything?
Oh yeah. I'll start with Miami, Ohio State. Like, look, again, that defensive line was the star of the show. Shout out to Carson Beck too. I know he didn't put up impressive numbers, but he didn't throw the dire interception that could have potentially give the momentum back to Ohio State. He played smart football. Fletcher, he looked really good. 19 carries, 90 yards, man, running back. He has some explosive moments. But look, I ain't gonna cry for Ohio State, bro. Like, Jeremiah Smith still looked like a dog. He had 7 receptions for 157 yards and 1 TD. This team is gonna be back next year, bro. They're adding the addition of Chris Henry. Like, this offense, you're gonna get Sand under another year. Again, Ohio State was a product of their schedule. I agree with Mark. They didn't play nobody. We kind of saw that the last 2 games. And again, I said it before, like, there's some things I liked about Sand, but again, there's still a little more I need to see. And, once we started seeing top flight competition, we saw certain struggles, you know what I mean? We saw the pick 6 and some of the misreads and stuff like that. And just, he tried to hang in there with that defensive line. He made some NFL type throws, but I think another year under him, I think he'll be a lot better. But Miami, that defensive line, that might be one of the best units left in as far as like the 4 teams remaining. Alabama, Indiana, look, my GOAT, Mendoza. You know what I mean? He looked amazing. 14 and 16, 192 yards, 3 TDs. Black, he looked very explosive, especially towards the end of the game. He kind of sealed the deal. 15 carries, 99 yards, 1 TD. Yeah, I said go. I heard you under your breath. Yeah, I said that shit. Mendoza. Yeah. Once he put that Raiders jersey on, it's different, baby. It's different, man.
You didn't even like him in the beginning.
Back. Hey. Things can change, brother. It's called growth, my boy. It's called understanding the situations. You see the product on the field, and I like what I'm seeing. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Like real talk though. Mendoza looked amazing, man. He was slightly we saw everything from him making elite NFL type of throws. We saw him moving out of the pocket. We saw him getting first downs. We saw the toughness. We saw the precision. Like, he fits everything about a quarterback. The level of leadership. And I know there's a lot of talk of how he talks in his post games and how he sounds goofy and all that type of stuff. No one cares, bro. No one cares. You could tell that the people, to me, it's all about how the players respond around him, and they love playing for him. And, he knows what he's doing. And I think that's the mindset we need as the Raiders. And I think Indiana is easily the favorites to win it all. Obviously, we're going to make our picks Wednesday. But that team as a whole is amazing. And look, I'm going to say this. That offensive line in Indiana looked amazing. Like, those boys are huge as shit. Like, some of them guys look like they were 6'6", 400 pounds. Like, them guys are monsters. Like, that O-line, again, I think that Indiana O-line and that Miami defensive line are 2 of the best units left in this college football playoff. And I'm not gonna shit on what Oregon did, because I think Oregon's defense looked really good as well. But Oregon, Texas Tech, look, I feel bad for that Texas Tech defense, man. They competed their asses off. I know the score is 23-0, but that Texas Tech defense was the best unit on that field. They gave Dante Moore hell. They gave that offense hell. But this Tech, I don't know what happened to that Texas Tech offense, man. I don't know what happened to that quarterback. He just looked like he forgot how to play football. You know what I mean? Like, the Monstars just jumped in his body, and he just totally forgot what to do. So, again, I know we're going to talk about the transfer portal here. I know they signed a guy that I think potentially could help them. Like, Texas Tech, I think they're going to be there because they got the money to back up and add talent on this defense. That defensive line was still really good. That defense is still going to be really good. I know they're going to lose some pieces on that defense, but I think they'll reload up, and I think they'll be right back at it. And Ole Miss and Georgia, man, like, look, definitely a game of the weekend as far as like in college football. Chambliss looked really good. This offense looked really good. This was a very entertaining game. I tip my hat to Stockton because he got laid the F out pretty bad, and he was able to get back on his feet and score that QB sneak in for the touchdown. So I tip my cap off to him. He looked really good. Georgia, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. And I say about Alabama too, whoever their backup quarterback was, Austin Mack, I like what I saw. You could tell, like, he's a big quarterback. He was 6'6". I wouldn't be surprised if he's the starter next year. You just could tell he needed reps, but he looked really good as far as like the small amount of time that we saw him on the field, especially in that second half, because Tom Sisson was dealing with a cracked rib, I believe. don't sleep on him. I think Alabama could be fine. Obviously, they're still going to be ultra talented. I agree with the whole conversation. The SEC dominance, I think it's gone. I think that's why we see a lot of these the SEC league kind of manipulating certain things, so they get more and more teams in this league. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to get 2 really good games Thursday and Friday. We get the rematch with Oregon, Indiana, and then obviously we get Ole Miss versus Miami in that defense. I think Carson Beck's going to have to do a little bit more, but I'm excited to see both games. But overall, man, it was a college football weekend that was full of surprises. I would say full of surprises.
We were wrong.
Yeah, terrible. Terribly wrong. Everybody that betted too, man, they were getting cooked on. They were getting cooked on Thursday. They're getting cooked on the bets.
All right, man. Let's switch gears to NBA. You got any NBA news?
Yeah, man. We got some NBA news for sure, man. Let me pull up. All right, yeah, NBA topics. First up, so Draymond Green, he made some comments about LeBron James. He states that the NBA should put LeBron on the All-Star team regardless if he's voted in or not, just based on his legacy, what he meant to the league, and stuff like that. My question to you is do you agree or disagree with Draymond Green's comments that LeBron should, in fact, be a de facto All-Star member regardless if he's voted in or not?
No. If you didn't earn it, you shouldn't be on the damn team.
Yeah.
If you got to put LeBron James to sell your All-Star game, then you got deeper problems.
I just don't think they need to. I get it.
That's what I'm saying. If you got to go forward with your youth movement and you're trying to change the guard, if you got to need LeBron James or Stephen Curry or any of these old dudes to sell your All-Star game to get people to watch it, then you got deeper problems. And you don't believe in you're telling me you don't believe in the youth in this product. And you don't believe in your youth All-Stars. You don't believe in Wemby, Luka, Anthony Edwards, Shea Gill. You don't believe in those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's deeper problems than we need. That's an Adam Silver problem that we need to be having a conversation about. Maybe we need a new commissioner. Because if you need LeBron James a de facto and he hasn't earned it, nah. Draymond, shut up. Did we tell you to shut your ass up last week? Now you're back.
Look. I know Draymond Green. Look, everybody knows the rant I did last week. I'm not going to kill him too much. I understand what he's saying because we kind of did it with Michael Jordan. We kind of did it with Kobe a little bit, even though I think Kobe deserved it a little bit more. I get it, but I also agree with what Chris is saying. I think the league is too great right now as far as like talent-wise. You got Shea, you got Wemby, you got you still got Kawhi, you still got James Harden are playing all-star level. You got Paolo Banchero. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo, you still got Jalen Brunson, you got Karl-Anthony Towns, you still got all these young guys who are performing really well. You still got Kevin Durant who's playing at all-star level, Devin Booker's and all that stuff, Cade Cunningham's, like the list goes on and on. The league is ultra talented.
Durant. He
but he deserved it though. Now look, LeBron James, he's been putting up some good numbers as of late. You know what I mean? Like he's putting up some good numbers. Like, do I think LeBron will probably get in? Most likely. I think LeBron is just too popular for him not to get voted in, especially with fans on that route, especially how they weigh the votes. But we'll see. Like, you don't want him to take away an opportunity from somebody, because we had that with I think Norman Powell last year, where he should have been voted into the All-Star game, but unfortunately, they wanted obviously just the regulars to be in that. You don't want that, because there are certain guys who only have 1 year or 2 year opportunities to get said All-Star validation that they've been working hard, and it could be contract incentives for that. So you don't want to do that. Now, if you want to do a special exemption, whatever, that's fine. No one's going to lose sleep, because at the end of the day, All-Star game don't mean nothing. If you want to add an extra roster spot for LeBron James, that's cool. I honestly do not care. Just don't take an opportunity away from somebody who actually deserved it. That's how I kind of feel. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to kill Draymond. Everybody knows how I feel about Draymond, but I ain't going to kill him too much about that. Next up, there have been rumors about my Lakers being interested in Dylan Brooks, out of all people. You all know how he feels about LeBron James and stuff like that. Yeah, there are rumors. My question to you, Chris, is do you think that would be a good fit for Dylan Brooks and the Lakers to, find a home together.
Look, man, we've seen this all the time where players who had little rivalries and they don't like each other, then they end up on the same team, and it's a kumbaya session. So I think it'll work. It'll be fine. These dudes ain't really like that. Man, I ain't worried about no Dylan Brooks doing anything. He ain't gonna do nothing. We gonna do go on the Lakers and beat up LeBron? No, he ain't gonna do nothing. So
it'll be entertaining to see how they interact on the same team. It'll be funny.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe LeBron pouts. I don't know, but still, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, honestly, is Dylan Brooks somebody that we need? Yeah, obviously we need like kind of like a 3-and-D wing guy with some toughness. I think what Dylan Brooks, we saw what kind of culture. I know some people don't like him, but he's kind of one of those guys where you kind of hate him when he's not on your team, but when he's on your team, you kind of mess with him a lot. And it's just like I think he would add some toughness to this team that I think we need, especially on that wing defensive side. He's been shooting the ball pretty well. Now, to me, it just all depends on how much they want for Dylan Brooks as far as like asset wise. Like, you know, I've seen some trades where, you know, people were kind of involved in Austin Reeves. I think that's kind of crazy. I want to do all that. But if there's a way to, you know, if we got to just trade like one first-round pick and, you know, maybe it's like a Rui attachment and maybe a Dalton Connect attachment or something like that, I would consider it because I think Dylan Brooks could be kind of that guy that could kind of change the mindset in this locker room, like add some toughness, not be pouting, be all sensitive, like have some fight. Like there's certain situations where this Laker team just looks like they just pout too much. You know what I mean? It's not just a Luka thing. I know a lot of people like to just attribute that to him, but you know we see it with DeAndre Ayton. You got him complaining about not getting touches. You got LeBron James who always is passive aggressive. You know, you got all this, you know, you got all this type of situation with, you know, like Jared Vanderbilt and all these guys. Like, we need more toughness. We need more guys to be like, no, this is how we're going to do. And I think Dylan Brooks could be that way. So it should be interesting. Do I think it happens? Probably not. I can't see the Suns trading him. They'll probably win the gouges for what they can get. All right, next up, 76ers. You know, they've been, you know, they're 19-14. They've been playing pretty good. You know, VJ Eshkum, you know, he's averaging about 16.5 points per game with 3 assists. Paul George about 5.9 points per game. Joel Embiid, you know, he's been playing really good. 22.8 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, 3.4 assists. And obviously Tyrese Maxey 31 points per game, 6.8 assists, and 4.6 rebounds. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They're 5th in the East right now. My question to you is, are the 76ers East contenders to potentially get out of the East? Would you put them in that?
Yeah. Look, they got a nice little offensive firepower with Maxey and Edgecombe and whatever. What's the boy name? The center?
Oh, Joel Embiid.
They got enough on that side that, you know what I'm saying, they can compete with the Knicks, the Heat, the Hawks, you know, the Orlando Magic, you know, whoever on the East is top contenders. I think they should be right there up there with them. So yeah, I definitely do think they're contenders. And we said this going into the season that if they can get healthy, man, Sixers could be a problem. They can definitely be a problem. And if Embiid can just stay healthy, they'll be right there. They really will, because the you know what I'm saying, you got Embiid down you know, at the center position. You got Edgecombe that's coming on as a rookie. He reminds me of Anthony Edwards when he plays. And then Maxey is just becoming a superstar.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he's a superstar. Yeah.
That dude is one of the young bright stars in this league. I love his game. Dude can ball out. He's just a baller. So yeah, man. Sixers are definitely up there.
I agree with you. Like, even Embiid, like, you know, take his word for what he says, but I think he's been truly honest about how he's been feeling with his knee and stuff like that. He says he feels like he's getting back into his former self with being an all-star caliber type of player. He's you know, obviously he's logging in 30 plus minutes. I think that's a very positive sign. He's been able to play without any swelling or any kind of knee problems at all. Obviously, they're doing a great job of, as far as like trying to maintain him as best as possible. Like, if he feels a little bit pain, you know, they rest him for a couple of days, and you have the assets to be able to withstand a couple games and all that. We all know the East is not as deep, but he just needs to be healthy at the right time. I think the 76ers are going to be interesting. Obviously, they played the Denver Nuggets tonight without Jokic, but I think it should be interesting going in. Couple more. I know there's been a lot of conversations due to injuries about the 65 game mandate rule for eligibility in awards and all NBA. Obviously, we know that has an impact in obviously, max contracts and stuff like that. Obviously, just accolades in its own for career purposes. There's been a lot of conversations about it with, as far as like Jokic, he's going to be missing a month. He's going to be coming close to not being eligible for MVP awards and all NBA and stuff like that, which could, potentially be would be kind of ridiculous, especially knowing what he's been able to, Devin Booker, Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James and stuff like that. My question to you is, should the NBA change the 65 game mandate rule, get rid of it, or maybe lower the games to maybe like 40, 45, closer to half? Like, what are your thoughts with this?
I don't know. This is difficult because we're getting to a point where these dudes they don't play all those games. So it's just kind of like, let's say you do lower it to 45, so these dudes don't play like 25.
Yeah. They gonna
low manage and do 25 games. It's like, come on, what are we doing?
Right.
Nah, just keep the 65.
I think they should lower it a little bit. I think if they can go down to maybe like 50 to 55. 50? I think like 50. I think 50 is fair. 50. Like I think it's close to half. I think you got to at least play more than half of the percentages of games. You got what, 82 games. If you play, above like 55 to like closer to 60%, I think you should be able to be eligible. I think 65 just cuts it a little too close. Like, you miss a month, you pretty much at that threshold of, and it gets kind of ridiculous. Like, so, and some of these guys are legitimately injured. You know what I mean? So, I think it leaves some wiggle room for, like, let's case you have like a situation like Jokic where he has to miss a month due to like a hyperextension with a knee, and then you still get a couple rest days in there and stuff like that. Like, we all know resting is not going anywhere, but at least make it manageable. So I don't know. I think lower it. I think at least lower it a little bit. I say y'all go drastic to like 40, but I think 50, 55, maybe like 53 games, something like that. Like just lower it a little bit. But I do agree. I do think we need it so we don't have the epidemic like we were having just a couple years ago. All right. Last but not least, give you a WNBA update and get Chris's thoughts. So the collective bargaining agreement between the WNBA and Women's National Basketball Players Association will expire on January 9th, which is coming up pretty quick. It comes and goes without a new agreement. As of now, all signs point to that scenario. It doesn't automatically mean a work stoppage would occur. Instead, a period called status quo will follow, in which current CBA would be maintained. And even without a new deal in place, the league and union could continue to negotiate. But if there isn't an extension by January 9th, it could open the door for a potential work stoppage, either a strike initiated by the players or a lockout initiated by the owners. Last month, the players voted to authorize the WNBPA executive committee to strike when necessary, a move the union called an unavoidable response to the state of negotiation with the WNBA and its teams. Obviously, there's been multiple sources familiar with this negotiations told ESPN this week that the WNBA is projecting that a recent proposal of the WNBPA, which would give the players about a 30% gross revenue and is believed to feature approximately a $10.5 million salary cap, will result in $700 million. It would result in $700 million in losses over the course of the agreement. Such losses would jeopardize the league's financial health, the source said, and they would be more than the combined losses of the league and its teams in the WNBA's first 29 years of existence. The projection sources said was determined based on previous audited league financial information. But the union believes its revenue sharing model still puts the league in a profitable position. A separate source close to the negotiations said, and calls the league's projected loss figure absolutely false, citing a discrepancy in whether expansion fees are factored in. The union's proposal accounts for expansion fees in its projections, seeing them as real money that still contributes to the owner's bottom lines. The league considers them transactions that generate zero net revenue. New teams are out the expansion fee but earn a fractional share of future league revenue, while pre-existing teams get a portion of the fee but lose a fractional share of future league revenue. What are your thoughts with this, with some of these news? Obviously, January 9th is coming up. It will be end of the week, Friday? What are your thoughts with this? Do you think the proposal that the league is doing is fair? Do you think the women should take it? keep fighting, lockout? What are your kind of overall thoughts heading into the January 9th deadline?
I think that the women should try to get what they can. If they are going to get what they want, think they deserve, they're going to have to stand back. So they might have to strike. We say it all the time when we see the the NFL lockout. We feel like those dudes, they cave in. Because why? Because at the end of the day, when the checks start coming in, start hurting. You know what I'm saying? They have families to feed. And it's not the top guys that you're worried about, it's the lower guys. The guys are on the practice squad. You know what I'm saying? Dude that's on the active roster, but he's only making $230,000 a year, which that's a lot of money, but in NFL terms, it's really not because they can get cut at any time. With the WNBA, they're already getting lowballed. They're used to it. And it may not be WNBA options, but girls do have options. They're used to going overseas and play.
The top tier players do.
They do. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. They do. I'm just saying. But even some of these lower girls, they can go somewhere and play and get a check and get relatively get what they were getting for whatever said team. And we see how the WNBA is cutthroat, man. We've seen really good players come out of college and get cut and not even make the team. So it's already a hard league to get into regardless. It's already an elitist type of league if you really think about it.
They need to expand.
That's why we be talking about we need to expand roster spots and expansion for teams and all that stuff so we can have more roster spots. And maybe in the CBA they'll add more, rosters on that's one of the things they're asking for. But if they want to get a fraction, just at least a fraction, you're not going to get everything. Let's just be clear. You're not going to get everything that you want in a negotiation. You're just not, unless you're just like that. Unless you just got a resume or you got substantial stuff like, hey, look, these are the numbers. I do this, we do that. Boom, boom, boom. We'll be good for this. I don't think the WNBA women are going to get everything that they're asking for. If they can get half, that's what you work for. And then maybe on the next CBA, you can get more. Maybe you get 75% what you're asking for. To a point to where you get 100%. But if you want to get somewhat of what you want, ladies, you're going to have to stand firm. And you cannot let the other side bullying y'all to stop the lockout. If they say, oh, we're doing a lockout, we're going to test these girls. You can't cave in. Because if you do, you ain't gonna never get what you want. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
It's tough for me because you got to look at the instance with this report of the $700 million projected loss that they're saying this could potentially happen with what the girls really want. I think it comes to a point of, I agree with Mark. Like, yeah, I think these ladies do need to get paid more, but I think they need to find a healthy balance of fight for what you can get now and then worry about some battles a little bit later. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this league is going to continue to grow. I think a lockout would be detrimental to this WNBA league because I just think it's becoming a point in time. You got to think, especially with this year, you got the World Cup, you got the winter, you got the World Cup happening this summer. You got I think there's some other stuff going on this summer. It's not the Olympics. Is it the Olympics? No, it's not the Olympics. But you got the World Cup. You got other avenues. You got a small window before college football and football starts back up. You got a small window before you got Major League Baseball, which I think is getting a little bit more popular with today's game. Especially with some of the things that have been going on, some of the rule changes, some of the names that have been associated with the teams and stuff like that. You got to look at that. You don't want to be one of these leagues that just gets lost out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, this league is still growing. I don't know if those numbers are true with the $700 million or not. I think obviously the WNBPA says it's not legit, but I think it's probably somewhere around there. We've all known that this league has seen losses year after year. I don't think it's been a profitable league. You're still in the minds of these NBA owners who the NBA has been fostering this league with money to be sustainable to a degree. I just think these women need to, I don't think like fight for what you can fight for, but I think they need to be smart about it. Not saying they're not, because obviously these are very, very intelligent women, very, very prideful women who have earned whatever they can get. But I think they need to just kind of, you know, find a healthy balance as far as like trying to figure out what exactly some of the things that, all right, maybe we could kind of like, we can go hard for this, but maybe let's cut back on this. You know what I mean? Certain situations like that. So obviously, hopefully they can find a way to get an extension here by Friday, and hopefully that, you know, they don't go into a lockout, because obviously them going into the lockout, and then you got these girls going to Unrivaled, you got these girls going overseas. Again, I agree with Chris. It's going to be a situation where some of these lower tier girls who aren't making that money, women who aren't making that money. Like, obviously, I think the Caitlin Clarks will be fine. I think the Angel Reeses will be fine. I think the Asia Wilsons will be fine. Women of that nature. But it's going to be some of these other ladies who are only making like $80,000 a month, where they got to go to another league. Like, a lot of those girls aren't getting invited to Unrivaled. I think a lot of those just go to the top tier girls, women, for that league. So Unrivaled is an elitist avenue. You can go overseas, but a lot of those girls don't want to go overseas based on what happened to Brittany Griner. You know, so you got that situation where some females may be a little hesitant, especially in today's climate where everything is going on in the world today. Some ladies might be a little bit more hesitant to go overseas, because look, it's not just crazy out here in America; it's crazy in other parts of the world too. So they might not be comfortable. Like, obviously, you got to make your money. You're gonna do what you got to do, but you know, I think there's been a little hesitancy with going overseas as much. Like, but I just think they need to find certain things that, all right, let's not go hard here. Let's try to go hard here. Obviously, the biggest thing is finding them getting the money, as far as like getting part of the revenue and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Because they got to remember, man, the WNBA has been at a loss for years now. You know what I mean? It's been a loss at years so the NBA and who supports these franchises, they're only going to support it so much until they're gonna be like, yo, like the losses aren't even worth it no more. So, and then if you lose a year out of the league, then I just think you lose all the lust. I don't care if Caitlin Clark is still playing. I don't care about Angel Reese, and respectfully, I love Asia Wilson, but out of sight, out of mind. We all see it all the time. We see it with music. We see it with certain situations that if you're not around, you can get forgotten about real quick. You know what I mean? And I don't want that to happen to these ladies. I think these ladies deserve to make more money, absolutely. But I think I'm not saying don't go hard, but find a healthy balance. Again, I would love to have Ms. Ball and Dion and have conversations. I think she'll probably be more knowledgeable than me in this situation. Hopefully we can get her on if things get a little bit more heated and stuff like that, and she got the time. But I think it'll be kind of interesting conversation to hear her thoughts about this. You know what I mean? I could be 100% wrong. She could have a whole different type of opinion about it. So hopefully sometime soon in the near future, if she has time, maybe we can get her on.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely have to get her insight, because she probably a little bit more closer to the situation.
For sure. She more closer than us. So, but we root for the ladies, man. Don't question me. I'm rooting for these ladies to get what they deserve. They deserve whatever they can get, for sure. But business is business at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, man. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors, because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement, whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris Mal to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris Mal to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
Shout out to Madness Sports Drink. All right, man, let's do our NFC East offseason needs. Last week we did the AFC and NFC North together, but this week we're just going to do the NFC East. We'll do the AFC East on Wednesday. All right, man, you want to start it out? You want me to kick it off?
Nah, go ahead. You go ahead and kick it off.
All right, man, we're going to start with the Cowboys, man. Look, this is simple, man. Defense. I think they need another defensive end to go with Quentin Williams. I think Quentin Williams is a start. He's a good foundational piece to start with your defensive line, but you do need something on that edge to go with him. So a nice edge player that can rush the passer would go real good with this defensive line and add to it. They need a corner. They just let go of Travion Diggs. You still got Bland there, but Bland, he can be injury prone, and I'm not too sold on Bland either. I like Revel. But I think they need another corner for sure on the other side. And probably another linebacker too, outside linebacker that can go with the young, I forgot the young man's name, Overshown, I think his name is. Mm-hmm. Get another linebacker to go with Overshown, and I think that this defense will be really, really good. I know they got Logan Wilson too, but get one more linebacker, outside linebacker to go with this linebacking crew, and I think you'll be cooking with grease with this defense. The Eagles, their biggest weakness was the number 2 corner outside of Quentin Young Mitchell. Cooper DeJean, he's a good nickel corner. You put him in the nickel, that's what he's great at. But they need another outside corner. They need something, whether it be in free agency, trade, or even in the draft. They need another outside corner. They might need another wide receiver if they do trade A.J. Brown. I still think they need a wide receiver just to, you know what I'm saying? I like Jahan Dotson. He was good, but I think they need one more playmaker to go with this team, especially if you could put one on the outside, put Devontae Smith in the slot. Let's say they do keep A.J. Brown, somebody on the outside. But regardless, you're going to need somebody to replace A.J. Brown if he leaves. Yeah. And then I think, what's the name? He's getting a little older. The tight end. What's the tight end's name?
The fuck is his name?
Mark, help us out. What's the tight end's name for the Eagles?
Goddard.
He getting older, man. He getting older. So they need another tight end to go in that room, get younger at that position.
I saw them projected to get Kenyon Dixon or something like that.
Yeah, so Sadiq. Yeah, so
Sadiq. Sadiq. My bad.
So they definitely need to get another tight end in that room. The Commanders, defense. They need defensive end, they need defensive tackle, and they need a corner. They need all three to go on this defensive line. They've been their biggest issue. Maybe you could throw in a running back. Maybe what's his name? Jacory, maybe he has a better second year, but still, maybe they get a running back in this free agency. There's a nice little crop of running backs that are going to be free agents this offseason with Breece Hall and Devontae Williams and Kenneth Walker and Rashad White. So there's a few running backs, Tyler Algier. So there's some running backs out there that's going to be in the free agency market. So maybe they get one of them, or maybe they double down. Maybe they get one in free agency. Maybe they get one in draft. So they definitely need to boost that running back room. But I do think that they need defense. And then the Giants, I've always said they need another wide receiver to go with Malik Neighbors. I do like Wan'Dale Robinson, but I think he is a slot wide receiver. I don't think he's an outside guy. So if you can keep him to put him in the slot, I'm all for that. But if you can draft a wide receiver to go with Malik Neighbors, and we don't know Malik Neighbors, I know ACL tears relatively, they come back, but We don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back. So you're going to need a wide receiver regardless. And we don't know if he's going to start the season. I know he got hurt early, but maybe he starts in the PUP list. So maybe you're going to need that young wide receiver and a veteran. Go with the veteran or whatever. But you need another wide receiver. You need another playmaker to go with Jackson Dart. And then I think they need a corner badly. They definitely need a corner. That's one of their biggest weaknesses. With that defensive line, they already got that solidified. They need help in that secondary. And then, look, I like Scatterboo, but I don't know how long Scatterboo's going to last. So I implore them to get her. Now, I ain't saying they got a top 50 pick, but they need to invest in another running back.
Yeah.
Because if we get hurt again, I like Tyson. What's his name? Tracy.
Tracy.
Tracy. I like him. But they still need to get another running back just in case Cam gets hurt again.
Yeah.
So those are my offseason.
For sure. I'll start with the Giants. Like, look, I think they need, number one, I think they need to find a coach that can still develop Jackson Dart as a quarterback. I think Brian Daboll was doing a great job with that. Had him heading in the right direction. Obviously, the only concern about him is his head injuries. I think they should continue to go with him within the future, at least next year, before the big draft heading into 2027. But I would like to see them get a quarterback or a coach that would still develop him in the right, or at least an OC that can fill that void that Brian Daboll left. I agree with you. I think that they need to add another offensive weapon, predominantly like a number 2. I would definitely like that. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the Giants dangled one of their defensive linemen for a trade asset. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that may be something that they look at. I'm not saying. Yeah, I could see Tibbs being that guy. I think the other two, I know people are still having their issues with Abdul Carter, but I think he's young. I think he'll be fine. But I could see them dangling maybe Tibbs and seeing what they can get for him if possible. If you keep him, it's still a plus. But if you can, get some assets for him, that'd be cool as well. I agree. They need a corner. I don't know if they'll do it in the trade market or if they like somebody in the draft. I think that could be a situation with that. I do love the pieces that they do have. I agree. Cam Scatterboo. It's a little worrisome that every time he runs, he'd be shaking his head and stuff like that, like a Rottweiler. Like it's kind of weird.
He claims that it's because the helmet don't fit, but
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't trust him, man. He's at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I think Cam Scatterboo, even though coming off that, it was a gruesome leg injury. But I think he'll come back fine. It's kind of like the same situation that Quinshon Judkins. It wasn't really more ligament. It was just more of like it was just a broken bone or dislocation. And I think they'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be the running back that we saw before his injury. With the Commanders, obviously number one thing is getting Jaden Daniels healthy. Making sure he's 100%. I think that is the biggest thing for them this offseason. Make sure whether it's a different type of training, maybe changing some of the style of play calling and you wouldn't want to change him too much as far as like his style of play, because that's what makes Jaden Daniels. But it's, you gotta worry about the longevity of Jaden Daniels. He had 3 injuries this year, and it makes it a little worry. You don't want him to take so many hits. So with that, to go along with his health, I think they need to beef up this offensive line. I would love to see them do that. I would love for them to boost up this running back core. Like, I know Crossgate Moret, I know a lot of people had high hopes for him, and I know the last couple of games he looked pretty good. But I wouldn't be mad if they can upgrade that and focus more on the running game situation. That way they won't have to put him so much in a shotgun formation. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with. I know that. Do they keep Debo and Terry? I don't know. I think that'd be kind of interesting, kind of talk about. They might be able to move off of them and maybe kind of relieve some cap space and maybe draft a little bit younger or something like that. I think that's something they could look at. Obviously, defense is number one, whether it's pass rush, whether it's obviously cornerback play. They definitely need upgrades in all 3 phases of that defense. So I think that should be the main focus for them on draft day. Get some youth on that side, maybe even a couple situations where you add some veteran leadership to that defense. I think that's something they can do, because at the end of the day, with Jaden Daniels there, they can easily become a contender in the NFC East again. From what we saw a year before, I think Jaden Daniels is still that guy. So I'm not really worried about him personally, just more about his health. The Dallas Cowboys, look, I don't know what to say about the Dallas Cowboys. I just think it's come to a situation of, number one, you got to figure out what you want to do with Pickens. I'm assuming you're going to have to keep him. But until Jerry Jones decides to not meddle in with this organization, they're going to be a 7-9, 8-win team. You know what I mean? Consistently. You traded Trevon Diggs. You're going to need to add some depth on that defensive back situation. There are certain aspects of that defensive line that I do like. I wouldn't mind adding in addition to that. Javonte Williams, can you get another year with him being healthy? You know what I mean? Obviously, he did show a lot this year. Health is always a big concern with him. I wouldn't mind adding some youth back there. But again, until Jerry Jones stops meddling with the team, to me, it's just going to be the same old song and dance, because I don't think they're going to be fully committed to doing what they need to do. And then last but not least, the Philadelphia Eagles. Look, I know they're still in the playoffs, but I think the number one conversation will be A.J. Brown this offseason. I think even to a point, Jalen Hurts, because, you know, a lot of Eagles fans do not like Jalen Hurts. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I wouldn't personally do it, but let's say Lamar Jackson is available. Do the Eagles take a swing and say we'll trade Jalen Hurts to the Baltimore Ravens for Lamar Jackson? You know what I mean? It's just certain situations like that you just can't put behind them. Do they take a swing on Max Crosby? Do they try to see if they can pry Myles Garrett? The Eagles, that's that situation. A.J. Brown, could they do a swap with the Raiders where they'd be like, look, we'll give you A.J. Brown for Max Crosby. Maybe they'll add an additional second-round pick, maybe a first if they're willing to do that. Maybe it's a situation like that. I don't know. But I think that's going to be the main conversation with the Philadelphia Eagles is what do they do with A.J. Brown? What do they do if it's a situation where they lose to the 49ers and Lamar Jackson is available? Do they potentially talk about maybe going all in on Lamar Jackson and doing a swap with the Ravens? Like, we'll give you Jalen for Lamar. Maybe we'll throw in a little bit of extra stuff for that. I don't know. I just think that the Eagles are going to be interesting team this offseason, which they always are going into the offseason. So,
yeah, they got to figure out how to get the best out of Jalen Hurts offensively for a full season.
Yeah.
Because it's like since Shane Steichen has left, and even Kellen Moore.
Yeah, Kellen Moore was really good.
He was good, but even they had their issues last year with Kellen Moore. I think Shane Steichen was the one to get, because it was his MVP year. He was good all season. It wasn't just all in the playoffs. He played really well, played well in the Super Bowl. No, he was good all season. He was an MVP candidate. Mm-hmm. So they got to figure out how to, maybe Shane Steichen gets fired from the Colts, and you go bring
it. I think they said they're going to keep him. I think the owner said they're going to keep him, but
I'm pretty sure they was going to keep him. I'm just saying, like, they got to figure out an offense that's going to work for Jalen Hurts to unlock what you did for him on that season, because ever since then, it's not been right. And like I said, even last year with Kellen Moore, yes, they were a good offense, but it's because you had an all-time generational year from Saquon Barkley. You're not getting that this year. He's still good and one of the top backs, but it's in spurts now. It's not like every play. It's like, oh, no, Saquon with the ball. No, this year it's been a lot of 2 yards, 3 yards, and then he'll break one off, and then it's like 2 yards, 3 yards. It's like it ain't what it was last year. So they got to figure that out with Jalen Hurts. If they're gonna keep him, because like Mark said, once them tush push, that's gone next year.
Yeah, that's gone. That is it though? It hasn't really been as effective as it has. I think it's kind of lost the sauce. I think it's honestly, people don't even talk about it no more. So I don't think the tush push is going anywhere.
Because it's not effective no more.
Yeah, it's not effective like it used to be. Yeah.
Because it's not effective, because the offensive line that it was effective, it was not. They're not there.
It's not there. It's not there. Yeah. Yeah, so
I think we need to give Jason Kelsey a lot more credit for why that tush push is working.
And the refs are calling it a little bit more tighter with the false starts and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think they did it in the Steelers-Ravens game. I think they did that. They called a false start on the tush push. So do I think it's going? No, I don't think it's going anywhere. Number one, I thought it was overblown anyway, but. Again, I think this weekend is going to kind of tell a lot, especially with that big game with the Niners. You know what I mean? That's not going to be an easy task. I know a lot of people, even with the way the Niners looked last week against the Seahawks, I think the Niners match up pretty well with the Eagles a little bit. You know what I mean? So, and they're not scared to go into Philly. Like, obviously, that defense needs to play a whole lot better. And I know we're going to talk about that, on Wednesday. But, again, I just think the Eagles, if they were to lose at home to the Niners, it's going to be a lot of questions, man. It's going to be a lot of questions, you know what I mean? And Howie Roseman is not scared to swing for the fences. Again, if they lose, and Lamar Jackson is available, don't be surprised if you start hearing about potential them considering moving off of Jalen Hurts. Don't be surprised if you hear Myles Garrett's name. Don't be surprised if you hear Max Crosby's name. Don't be surprised if AJ Brown gets traded because they got a clear room. Now, if they do a Lamar Jackson trade instead of Jalen Hurts, do they reconsider the AJ Brown shit? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot of answers that going on. At the end of the day, this Eagles team is, especially on the defensive side, they're loaded with so much depth. You know what I mean? They got two players for every position, pretty much. And this offense ain't bad either. Like, you still got Devontae Smith, you got Tank Bigsby, who looked amazing yesterday. You still got Saquon, you got Goddard, you got the younger tight end, even though if they potentially get Sadiq or whatever the case may be, which would be insane if they were able to get him. And then who knows who else they add to this team in the draft and in free agency. So, look, man, Howie Roseman is one of the best GMs in the NFL. I don't think it's an argument at this point. Like, he finds ways to make stuff happen and continue to have the depth that he has. So they haven't missed in the draft and they haven't missed in free agency. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens if they don't win on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. We'll do the AFC East on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Let's do our BetUS Surefire Picks. What do you got?
All right, man. For tonight, I got the Knicks -2.5 in a big game against the Detroit Pistons. And Detroit, I know Detroit's been playing really well, and I know the Knicks have had some interesting losses, but you know, this is a heated rivalry, especially what happened with last year in the playoffs, man. I think the Knicks will be ready, especially on Detroit's home floor. We'll go Knicks -2.5. I know it seems a little sketchy, but I think the Knicks find a way to pull that off. I like the Clippers +1.5 against the Warriors. I do not like this Warriors team at all, even though they did sit out a lot of people against the Thunder. Draymond Green just cannot stay on the floor because he likes to get tossed out every goddamn game. You know what I mean? So I'm expecting that against this Clippers team. I think the Clippers find a way to win. And then I like the Rockets -8 against the Suns. I just think overall they're just a better team.
Yeah, I got the Knicks also 2.5 over the Pistons. I got the Rockets -8 over the Suns, and I got the Thunder 15.5 over the Hornets. If you go to any of our social media links, you'll see the BetUS link. You click on it, you go to it, you sign up, you get 125% sign-in bonus plus 10% gambler's insurance because they got other things on the website. That means 3 risk-free bets on your first 3 deposits of $100 up to $5,000. So if you bet $100 on your first 3 deposits and you lose, you keep your money. So you can win some money or you can keep your money on your first 3 deposits. So go over there, sign up, tell them Cris Style Mal sent you. And that does it for our BetUS Surefire Picks. All right, man. So we all know a couple of days ago the college transfer portal for football opened up, and some moves have been going down right now. Try to get more thoughts on some of these moves that have happened, specifically the quarterback. We'll get into other positions later, but I just really want to get it because quarterback is the main thing. Mm-hmm. And those that can change a college team's trajectory for the next season. So we all know that Fernando Mendoza, we've talked about him. He's going to probably be a Las Vegas Raider next year. He's going to be gone, and he has a chance to win a national championship too. So, and he's the favorite right now. So he's already a Heisman winner. So he's going to be gone. So Cincinnati, he's already solidified his quarterback for next year, and Brandon Sorsby, who's I'm tripping. Brandon Sorsby's going to Texas Tech. I'm tripping. He's going to Texas Tech next year. It's Josh Hoover, TCU quarterback, who's going to Indiana, which that's a good pickup too. Mm-hmm. Guy's going to come over. We already know Cincinnati, he's been really good at getting guys to come over in the transfer portal. I think he got a running back to come over there too. So he's building that roster for next year too. They're going to be right there in national championship contention, and he's already got his quarterback. But how do you feel about Brandon Sorsby going to Texas Tech?
I like it. You know what I mean? It kind of fits kind of the mold of quarterback that they want. You know what I mean? A guy that can sling the ball around, who isn't scared to throw it in tight windows. Obviously, you know, we even with the quarterback that they did have, we saw that for the majority of the season. It just, as I said, it just seems like he just forgot how to play football against Oregon. So maybe the moment was just too big. So I do like it. You know what I mean? Obviously, they paid him pretty well. I think I saw that they paid him like $5 million for the transfer. So shout out to him. He made his bread, and he's gonna be on a legit title contender next year. So I like it.
Then you got the Ohio State quarterback Rocco Beck. He's going to Penn State. I think the Ohio State coach is over there, so I think he's following him over there.
Okay.
The backup quarterback for Notre Dame, Kenny Mitchie. He's going to Nebraska. He will be replacing Dylan Raiola. Austin Simmons, the word is out there that he is going to Mizzou. The backup where he was the starter for Ole Miss, got hurt. They couldn't change the, Trinidad Chambliss was balling. They couldn't really go back to Austin Simmons, but he's going to be over there with Missouri. I'm actually excited about that. I like Austin Simmons. I thought he's a really good quarterback. And you got Drew Messmaker, the North Texas quarterback. He's going to Oklahoma State, so we'll see how that looks. And then there's word, I already texted you yesterday, but, whatever. Jackson Arnold, Auburn quarterback. He's going to be at UNLV next year. Now, Dan Mullins, he gets the best out of these running quarterbacks, so we'll see how that goes. Still out there, Sam Levitt. There was word that he was possibly, because there was a no contact clause, there was a possibility he was going to go to Kentucky, but he is taking a visit to LSU. So we'll see how that goes. If he goes to LSU, that could be an issue. It could be a boost for LSU for them.
It could be. DJ
Legway, we're hearing Baylor. The Florida State has contacted him, so there's a possibility he stays in Florida. So we'll see on that. Dylan Raiola. I think they said Louisville.
Yeah, I know there was competition between him and Lagway. Last time I saw that was like a couple weeks ago. I don't know what it's like now. So
I think they signed another quarterback to Louisville too. But so we'll see what Dylan Raiola does. Bo Pabila, the quarterback for Missouri. We'll see where he goes. Maybe he goes to Virginia Tech over there with your boy, what's his name?
Franklin.
James Franklin. He's familiar with him, so maybe he goes.
Sleep on Oregon. Like, it depends on Dante Moore. If he decides to come out, then that could be a spot open for him. I wouldn't be surprised if that's like a DJ Lagway spot. I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe even Sam Levitt. So, what are your overall thoughts on all these quarterbacks, man?
Obviously, it's always a lot, you know what I mean, with these transfer portals and trying to keep up and who's where and who's going where and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, some of the guys I haven't seen play. But I'm gonna be curious to see what happens with Dylan Raiola. Obviously, DJ Lagway. Obviously, DJ Lagway, a former Florida Gator. I'm gonna be very interested to see the kind of decision that they go with. I think Florida's still trying to figure out their quarterback situation, so I'm gonna be curious to see.
Signed somebody.
Did they? I haven't been paying attention. If they did or not.
Let's see.
Did they?
Florida Gators transfer.
Said it's supposed to land Aaron Philo from Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that's what it was. Didn't y'all get the Georgia Tech?
Nah, we got
Oh no, you got the coach from Tulane, right?
Tulane, yeah, we got the coach from Tulane. I'm not very familiar with Aaron Philo.
He was the backup, so
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I got to watch tape on him, so I'm not even going to act like if I'm excited or not because I have no idea what he looks like. Obviously, I was a big fan of King, so we'll see what's up. But it's going to be interesting. Obviously, I think there's still a lot of names out there and a lot of figuring out what to do. I know Chambliss. I think he, depending on his situation, if he could get another year of eligibility, I think they said he's going to stay at Ole Miss. So obviously, that takes him out of the LSU run. I think that would be huge for Ole Miss if he can get another year. So we'll have to see about that situation if he can even get approved. Last time I heard, they said they weren't going to approve him for a medical add additional year for his medical that I think where he had like tonsillitis or something where he had to miss a whole year or something like that.
I don't know. They said he signed back with Ole Miss, so maybe that's a sign.
Well, it said pending if he gets approved for his extra year. So I think that's what they're waiting on. Maybe with the signing, maybe they got a little bit of news that it seems like maybe NCAA has had a little bit of change of heart because they don't want to get sued. So they're just giving everybody opportunities to, they're giving 28-year-olds a chance to play college sports at this point. So look, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, I think we still got a couple more weeks to kind of get the whole layout of the field, and I think I'll have a better idea on how it looks and stuff like that. But overall, man, I think it's a great pickup for Texas Tech. I think it's a great pickup for Indiana. I think two of those colleges should be pretty excited about who they got, especially Texas Tech. I really like that signing, and I'm be curious to see where Sam Levitt goes. I think he could be, if he goes to LSU, I think that'd be huge.
Yeah, that would definitely be huge for them because they've been their main problem. They haven't been able to figure out that quarterback situation since what's your name left.
Yeah, so. Congrats to everybody who got paid, though.
Yeah, for sure. Get your bag.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting. You're hearing Ryan Williams, the wide receiver at Alabama, might be possibly hitting the transfer portal. I know some people from Colorado have left. Some Alex Calandrias. I'm hearing Florida State for him. That's really
if Ty Simpson stays, you think he hits the transfer? Because I low key think they take that backup. I think Alabama should go towards that backup to get him acclimated with that offense. Because 6'6" guy who's throwing some dimes, athletic too. Mm-hmm. He looks way better in that offense than Ty Simpson has any point of the year.
Yeah, I think there was word that he's going to enter the transfer portal if he doesn't forego and go to the draft. So
he could be an interesting guy to see where he goes to. I don't think Ty Simpson is a bad quarterback at all. Yeah. I think it'll be interesting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where you think Dylan Raiola goes? You think he goes to Louisville?
I don't know because they just signed a dude.
I don't know where Dylan Raiola goes, man. I just don't think he's that. I think he's in a weird spot. Obviously, he's going to find a team. There's just too many colleges out there for him not to find a team. But it doesn't seem like a lot of people are craving to have him in their college. You know what I mean? Like, do you think a lot of that with the mimicking Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that? I'm being honest. This is an honest question. This is a real serious question. Yes, obviously, the play has something to do with that because he hasn't looked impressive. But do you think with the way he's played, and then obviously all the mimicking of Patrick Mahomes with the style, the hair, the way he runs, all that. Do you think that has to do with the least appetite of people not wanting him to be a part of the squad?
Yes, they want this kid to stop cosplaying Patrick Mahomes. They don't want that circus. They don't.
Yeah.
And he was, before even Patrick Mahomes stuff, he was actually very, I won't say controversial, but he's been known to switch high schools. He's been switching since high school.
Oh, like he just switches.
Yeah, he's been jumping and jumping and jumping. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that's gonna be interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, that's right. And he might go to Kansas. That's funny. He can go be a Jayhawk and suck. But yeah. Damn. 49ers, another injury?
No, what happened?
Linebacker. They starting linebacker got hurt. He's out for the season.
Oh, word?
That's crazy. Yeah. All right, Mal, it's time to play a little game. We're going to call this game Vet QB, Stay, or Draft Pick. So I'm going to name teams. Well, I'm going to name you the teams, and then I'm going to name you the draft pool. I'm going to name you the free agency pool or trade. And then you let me know said team, vet quarterback through free agency, draft pick, or should they stay? So the teams they're probably going to be looking for a quarterback next year are Arizona Cardinals, New York Jets. I'm going to put Cleveland in there because I don't know how sure they are on Shedeur Sanders. Miami, Atlanta, Indiana, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and the Rams, because we don't know what's going to happen with Matthew Stafford next year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the draft prospects, it could possibly be Dante Moore. He might be out, but I'm going to put Dante Moore in there. I'm putting Ty Simpson in there, Carson Beck, Drew Aller, Garrett Nussmeier, and Kay Cooper. Now, the free agents, Daniel Jones, we all know he's coming off an ACL tear, but we'll see. Aaron Rodgers, we don't know if he's going to retire. He might want to come back. Russell Wilson, Marcus Mariota, Tyrod Taylor, Trey Lance, Malik Willis, and then Kyler Murray via trade or Kirk Cousins via trade. So, first team, Arizona. Should they get another veteran quarterback, stay with Jacoby Brissett, or draft a guy?
This one's tough because the way they're in third, so there's not going to be a quarterback that's worthy of the third overall pick. You're already trading Kyle Murray. You're kind of in this weird space where you're not a good team. You got some youth on there. You got Trey McBride and stuff like that. You got some decent
Michael
pieces
Wilson,
on that defense. You got Michael Wilson and stuff like that. My question is it better off for you to get a vet, stay, or get ready for the 2027 draft? I think it's better they go for the 2027 draft. So in that case, I think they should stay with Jacoby Brissett because he's still going to put up respectable numbers. The offense is still going to be at least decent for people to come and watch, but you ain't going to win no games. So I think they should stay with Jacoby Brissett and gear up for the 2027 QB draft. I don't think anybody's worth it right now.
The New York Football Jets.
You had Dante Moore coming out, right?
Yes.
I think they should draft Dante Moore. Draft Dante Moore. I think he definitely can be a starting quarterback. He does have some elite potential with his mobility. Even some of the throws I saw against Texas Tech, against that tough defense, he made some really solid throws. I still think he needs a little bit of maturing a little bit as far as like turning into that quarterback we can see him being. But yeah, I think they should definitely draft Dante Moore.
For sure. The Cleveland Browns.
I think they should stay. I have real strong belief in Shedeur Sanders. I think the main thing with them is just getting a coach that is a believer in him. If they do that, I think they'll be fine.
Miami Dolphins.
Damn. I think they should go the veteran route just because of some of the pieces that they do have with Devon Achane. And obviously they're going to keep Mike McDaniel. So they're going to still try to win games. So I think they should get a veteran. I think this would be a great spot for Kyler Murray, low key. I like that, especially with that mind with Mike McDaniels and stuff like that. And then depending on what you do with Tyreek Hill, you still got Jalen Waddle, you still got Devon Achane. I love the tight end that they have. Darren Waller has looked really good since he's came back. Yeah, I like Kyler Murray right here.
Okay. Atlanta Falcons.
It's tough, man, because I can't put faith in Michael Penix and his knees, man. It's just history is showing us that he cannot stay healthy.
So should they stay with Kirk Cousins?
I think they should stay with Kirk, man. I think Kirk has played really well. He's gotten the best out of Kyle Pitts. He's gotten Drake London's still really good. It seemed like they finally understood the assignment and getting Bijan Robinson the ball. Like Kirk Cousins ain't a bad quarterback. People got to realize it was his first year coming off an Achilles. Like it's going to take, he's an older guy. So it's obviously going to take him a little bit more. He looked like the Kirk Cousins before the Achilles injury these last couple of weeks, especially that game against the Atlanta Falcons. So I think stay with him for another year. And then if things don't work out, you got the 2027 draft with full quarterback. So
the Indianapolis Colts.
I low-key think this would be a great spot for Mac Jones. I think this would be a really great spot for Mac Jones. I would really like that for him because I think he would fit. Obviously, I don't see Daniel Jones coming back soon enough for him to come and be with that Achilles and that he had a broken fibula and all that stuff. He ain't going to be – I don't think he's going to play at all next year. I think they should sign Mac Jones. I think they could get him at a reasonable price. I think that would be a good spot. I think sign Mac Jones. You have too many veteran pieces that could compete for a chance to make the playoffs, especially in that division. We all know that division is always wishy-washy depending on how things go. So with Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, that defense is still decent enough. You're going to keep Sean Steichen. I think Mac Jones would be a great fit. He showed a lot with when Brock Purdy was out.
Yeah, I agree. Like, he actually showed some stuff when he was with the 49ers.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked very promising. He looked really good. Mm-hmm. And I do not trust my man. What's my man's name?
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson. Nah. They need to find a way to either trade him and try to get a fifth or something or something. But I don't see him being on that team.
UFL, my boy.
Yeah. Or backup somewhere where you can develop a little bit more.
Minnesota Vikings.
This will be another. I know I already put Mac Jones there, but that would be a great team for Mac Jones too. I could also see maybe
Malik Willis.
I could see Malik Willis there too. I think Malik Willis has showed a lot.
Let me ask you something. I know he's old.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't looked bad this season though.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he looks at this team and says, I got Justin Jefferson. Maybe they bring Addison back. You know, they had a running back. Maybe it's Love or whatever in the backfield or whatever. What if Aaron Rodgers says, hey, they got more weapons over there. Kevin Stefanski's offense, I like it over there. We throwing the football down the field. I know I got Jettas over here. He's way better than DK.
No, yeah, 100%.
The defense is still. I mean, we'll see how the defense look without Flores, but if he gets a head coaching job. But I'm just saying, he goes and looks at the weapons over in Minnesota. I'm in the dome, so I'm not playing in the cold most of my regular season, and wherever I play outside of Green Bay, I'm playing in the dome. Playing in the dome in Detroit. I'm playing in the dome in Chicago is outside too, but I know they get a new stadium soon. But still, I'm just saying.
I'm not mad at that. You know, there's another name I think that should be considered. I think he gets forgotten about, and I know people might laugh at it, but call Derek Carr, see what he's doing. Like, he could throw the ball. Like the thing with Derek Carr is he get a little skittish when it comes to pressure and stuff like that, but he's a great deep thrower of the football.
I think Aaron Rodgers has been the problem, man. I think he actually played pretty well considering the weapons around him.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna disrespect Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers looked really good, especially from the third quarter on last game. I just think he's a little old in the tooth, and you got to deal with all the extra bullshit that comes along with him. Like, you're not gonna get an answer until midway through training camp if he even wants to play. So I
just think Aaron Rodgers is at a point of his career. He's like Tom Brady. You have to put stuff around him.
No, yeah.
He's not a game elevator like he used to be. He's not a player elevator like he used to be in Green Bay, where he can elevate the talent around him. That happened to Tom Brady when he went to Tampa Bay. Like, he needed a Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. You know what I'm saying? Like, you needed all that. Maybe that's what Aaron Rodgers needs. He can't elevate the talent with the Steelers. They ain't got much.
No, I agree. I don't think Aaron Rodgers would be a bad idea. Look, again, I think Derek Carr should be a consideration. Kyle Murray will be a great possible situation with here. I think there's options for the Minnesota Vikings. JJ McCarthy ain't it. If you like JJ McCarthy, if you really are a big believer in JJ McCarthy, you know he needs to sit down somewhere. And then number two, he can't stay healthy. He already has injury questions. Yeah. He cannot stay healthy. He has broken hand. He already had a knee problem. You know, he's having back issues like a rib issue or something like that. I'm like, do you really have faith in him? Like, it's a problem when he's apologizing to Justin Jefferson already because he can't stay healthy. That's an issue, bro. That is a strong issue. So, again, like, is Aaron Rodgers the answer? Yeah, I think he fits the mold because it fits everything he would need to be successful as a quarterback at his age. You're in a dome. You're in great weather. You got great weapons around you, depending if they keep Joe Addison. You got a great defense. You have a great offensive-minded guy in the head coach. Like, you got some pieces on that on the running back situation, even though I would like to see an upgrade from Aaron Jones because he is getting older. And I know you have what's my man? Jordan Mason back there, but he kind of slowed down a little bit as the year went on. So, you know, you could always fit in another running back or something like that. That could be a possibility. Like, maybe the Rams consider to trade off of Kyron Williams because you got Blake Corum. Maybe that could be a great
sign Breece Hall or
Breece Hall too. Yeah, Javonte Williams. Yeah, maybe the Ravens dangle Derrick Henry or something like that. You never know. I think it'll be a great fit for any three of those quarterbacks. Rodgers, Carr, if you want to try to convince him how to come out of retirement, a Kyler Murray, even a Mac Jones, even a Malik Willis, all those guys would fit in Minnesota. Yeah. Like, the talent's already there to compete for that division. So.
Yeah, I agree. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
I would say right now, if they are willing to stomach it, stay with Aaron Rodgers.
One more.
That's what I think.
Some more weapons.
Add some more weapons around him. You know what I mean? I just think that they're never going to be a team that's going to try to tank. And I just think they don't have it in them, even though that's what they honestly really need to do, especially with this draft coming up in 2027 to get your future. But they're not going to do it, especially if they win this weekend against the Texans. I could see them try to stick with Aaron Rodgers. Now, again, you got a stomach that you ain't going to get an answer from Aaron Rodgers until midway through training camp because he ain't trying to be in training camp. So if you're willing to do that, which they were, but if they win, let's say they win the whole thing, I think Aaron Rodgers probably retires low key. So then you have to figure out that whole situation. Now, if that's the case, then I think they should.
If the Steelers win the Super Bowl, then something really went wrong.
Yeah, something really went wrong for sure.
They
shouldn't even win on Monday, but I don't know. I'd stay.
We got to hear from the show. Oh yeah.
I pray to God that doesn't happen. But I say stay with Aaron Rodgers if he's willing to come back. If not, then I say they should just play whoever's their backup and tank next year and draft a quarterback in 2027. Because there's no. Unless if you want to take a swing on one of these guys late, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I want to put a first round or second round with any of these guys. Maybe a Ty Simpson. Maybe that might be a situation where this could be a Ty Simpson team or something. If you're going to make me choose a quarterback that's currently coming out this year, I'll say Ty Simpson. This could be a Ty Simpson team. Have him play behind Aaron Rodgers or something.
Maybe even Carson Beck.
I can see Carson Beck. I can see that. Maybe a Drew Aller. He fits. Yeah. He's from that area. He played at Penn State, close to the area. So I can see that too.
Now, the Rams are interesting because we all look at them as one of the favorites to win on the NFC side. And once they get Devontae Adams back, I think that offense will look better. And we'll see how it looks with Trayvon. Well, no, he went to Green Bay. So we'll see how this defense looks, going forward. But if they win the Super Bowl, maybe they don't. Maybe they get close to the Super Bowl. Let's say they win in this scenario. Matthew Stafford rides off in the sunset, retires. Should they get a vet? Well, they can't stay. So should get a vet or a draft pick.
Call the Ravens for Lamar Jackson. That's what I would do. That's it. That's it. Call the Ravens about Lamar Jackson because they have a team that's ready to win Super Bowls now. They do. Even with Matthew Stafford not there, Puka's still there. Devontae Adams is still there. Kyron Williams.
I think if they win the Super Bowl, I think Devontae will retire too.
He could, maybe. I don't know. He still loves playing the game. He's not slowing down at all. He's not slowing down. So continue to play. I think he still has years on his contract. So why wouldn't you? So at the end of the day, like you have a team that defense is still really good. They're only going to get better with as years go by. Defensive line still good. Call Lamar Jackson if he's available. You trade for Lamar Jackson. That's what I say they should do. Because besides that, there's not really a quarterback that I guess you could, unless you want to try to see about, I don't know, maybe Joe Burrow. See if Joe Burrow's still pissed off at being it has to be a situation like that. The Rams seem like a guy that they will swing for a bigger name. Like a drafting quarterback, the only person I think they will be interested in is maybe a Dante Moore and Mendoza. But besides that, are they going to take a swing on Nussmeier? No. Are they going to take a swing on Allard? I can't see that. Are they going to take a swing on Kubiak? Hell no, he sucks. Like nah, I just don't see it. You know what I mean? And
well, the interesting thing about
I don't think they're fans of Kyle Murray.
Well, the interesting thing about the Rams this season is they do got 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
They got the Falcons pick and they got their own pick. So maybe they can
the Ravens. Trade it to the Ravens. Yeah, trade it to the Ravens. they can do whatever.
Or they can make a call to the Cincinnati. I'm just saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. Cincinnati. You could call Cincinnati. You could call Baltimore, depending on Philly. Try to maybe call about Jalen Hurts. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You know what I mean? Or maybe Aaron Rodgers. This could be an Aaron Rodgers team because it fits the same mold as the Minnesota Vikings. It's in LA. You're in the dome. You have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, which he's very familiar with Devontae Adams. You know what I mean? He can play the Sean McVay system. He throws just as good as Matthew Stafford. Like, honestly, that looks better than the goddamn Minnesota Vikings. Okay. Yeah. And you're in great weather. You're in great weather. You know what I mean? You're in great weather. You're playing the Rams. You're playing San Francisco.
I don't know, Mark.
What? What's Detroit considering looking at QBs? I don't know. I think they're going to stick with Jared Goff.
I think they stick with him one more year. Then next.
Yeah, I think next year is the year a lot of teams they're going to reevaluate. I could see next year the Lions reevaluate, depending on what the Rams do this year. Reevaluate. Maybe they convince Matthew Stafford if they can't get a Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson trade. Maybe they try to convince Matthew Stafford with more money to play one more year. But I could see them being involved. You know, I mean, I could see the Giants maybe potentially looking at the Falcons. The Ravens, depending on that situation, Minnesota, Steelers, like that draft is so loaded with quarterbacks. Like there's going to be a lot of transition. Like I think that's going to be the year where the old guard gets retired.
Yeah,
all these older quarterbacks they're not going to be around no more.
All right, buddy, that's it.
Is there anyone that I said that you disagree with or would change or anything like that?
Mm-mm. No, I agree with you on Arizona. I think they should just stick with Jacoby Brissett. Just, go try to put as much as you. I mean, you already got enough weapons around. Michael Wilson, he's turning into
I like Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson's really good.
Marvin Harrison Jr., you just got to get him healthy. Trey McBride might be the best tight end in the league right now outside of Brock Bowers when he's healthy.
Yeah, them two are 1A, 1B. They're 1A, 1B for
sure.
But
this season, Trey McBride's been the best tight end.
Yeah, statistically,
yeah. The Jets, if Dante Moore is coming out, you draft Dante Moore. Now, what they do, if he doesn't come out, then you probably thinking about maybe going to get a Kyler Murray or a Malik Willis or somebody like that.
Do you though? They don't. Are they even come? Do you though? They don't have enough for them for that. They're not winning anything next year. They should be losing.
True, but
they should be losing.
But Aaron Glenn, he can't afford it.
That looks like a Tyrod Taylor team. Like Tyrod, just come. We give you a little starter money. Like just chill out. Maybe Jameis. Like you, I say Jameis. Call Jameis. Like, look, you're gonna be exciting for us. You're going to throw mad yards. Garrett Wilson will be happy, but we're going to lose every game because you're going to throw 4 interceptions. But everybody's going to be happy about it because you're Jameis Winston. And you still live in New York. So it's just like you're just changing colors from blue to green. That's it.
Aaron Glenn's trying to keep it.
How you keep your job when you need, like, honestly, a lot of people say we ain't got talent. The Jets ain't got no talent. I think we have more talent than the Jets. We have more of established talent than the Jets currently right now, I think.
Let's see.
Offensively and defensively, depending on
offensively, they're about to lose Breece Hall. They'll probably draft the guy.
Why don't you trade Garrett Wilson too? You might as well trade Garrett too.
I think they want to keep him. Keep him. I think they see a future with Garrett Wilson and A.D. Mitchell.
I would trade Garrett, man. Try to get a first-round pick for him. I think he's still first-round worthy.
Oh, of course. It's a baller. But in Ohio State, wide receivers I trust, man.
I still need a quarterback to throw him the goddamn ball.
This is true.
That's why I think Jameis to the Jets is, I think, the perfect answer. You still get the excitement. You get people that fan base is miserable right now. So I think Jameis will be the guy that kind of could galvanize that team.
Let's just laugh at that clip I saw.
What?
You see that clip when the dude was at the Jets game? He went up to the young white kid.
Who, Jameis?
No, it was just a dude, regular guy. He was after the Jets. They got smoked. And the dude was like, he had to be like, he ranged from the age of like 18 to about maybe 20. And you could tell he was depressed. And he walked up to the kid. He was like, what was your overall thoughts about the team? And he's like, I hate this team. He said, I love the Jets. They're my team, but I can't do this no. He just walked off. It's like, somebody go check on that young man. No,
oh man, it'd be rough sometimes, bro. It'd be bad, bro.
People saw me. He said I was born into this. Like he hated his. You could tell he hated his dad or his grandpa. Like, I hate this team.
Hey, that would have been me. Look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If things didn't go my way yesterday, let's say the Raiders won, Giants lost, and we end up dropping to 2, and then Dante Moore decides not to come out, like, bro, I've been depressed too. But I don't know.
Man, I ain't gonna lie.
Prayers to the Jets fans.
That is funny. All right, man. Let's start. Let's do this. Let's do the week 18. There wasn't too many games that really mattered yesterday to really talk about some storylines. I guess you could talk about next season.
Probably like maybe 3 games, like the two games during Saturday and then the Sunday night game. That's it.
We've talked ad nauseam about some of these teams and what they should do.
Yeah.
The only game that really mattered was the Seahawks and the 49ers game, the Ravens and the Steelers game. I mean, the Carolina Panthers, we see that game didn't even matter.
Oh, I got a lot to say about that game.
But go ahead, sir, because I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't get to see these Saturday games because I was out with the ladies. So give us your assessment of the Panthers and Buccaneers first.
Look, the Panthers and Bucks game, like, look, it's congratulations to the Carolina Panthers, but they're about to get their asses whooped on Saturday. Like, because you got to think that the Rams remember them losing to Carolina in Carolina, so they're gonna want to get back for sure. Matchup wise, I just don't trust. I try to like Bryce Young, but it don't look good. Xavier Legette, he tries, but it don't look good. Tet, he's one of the best weapons that they have, but he had a couple bad drops. There was some rain there, but the Bucks, man, they did it to themselves, man. This team, even when in the win, they didn't look impressive. Baker Mayfield and all those guys, like, I get it. Some people wanted to feel bad for him. I did not feel bad for him. Like, they made their bet and they had to lay in that shit because they lost to Quinn Ewers. They lost to this Carolina team, like Todd Bowles. Like, I just don't get the persistence of keeping him. I don't see it, but overall, man, it wasn't a really impressive win. But congrats, the Carolina Panthers made it into the playoffs by losing. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. The second game, 49ers and Seahawks. Like, look, I ain't gonna lie, Sam Darnold impressed the fuck out of me. He did, and that defense is amazing. That defense is nasty.
I was trying to tell you the other day, the unit that I trust the most on this game is the Seahawks defense. And even though they only scored 13 points, so you got to give kudos to the 49ers defense. They did play.
They tried to hang in there as much as they
did.
Could,
but it was just like that Seahawks defense, man. They fly around, bro. They're good.
No, they're really good. I just think the main thing with the Niners is I think injuries is gonna cause this team to probably lose. You know what I'm saying? So I just think in that situation, the Niners have just been dealing with so many injuries. And I know a lot of people had a little bit of hope with the Fred Warner news that he potentially could come back for the NFC Championship game. But it's going to be tough, man, against this Eagles team now. I'm going to still give him a chance because you still got Christian McCaffrey. You still got George Kittle. I assume Ricky Purcell will probably come back. I think that could help this offense. I think he'll probably play this weekend. And then Brock Purdy, like, I know it was a bad game, but that Seahawks, again, well, as Chris said, that Seahawks defense might be the best defense in the league currently right now, as far as the way they're playing right now. And then Sam Darnold was impressive. He didn't have the bad throw. Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker has looked really good this last month. He's looked really good.
That was another thing I was saying. I was like, that running game been balling.
No, yeah, you know me. I talk shit about this running game, but hey, man, Kenneth Walker, he's been looking like a top 3 running back this last month. He's looked really good. Zach Charbonnet, he looked really good. Again, Jackson Smith and Jigba, there's nothing else I could say. Rashid Shaheed, those guys, and I just think Sam Darnold, I think, has a lot of confidence right now. And I think that says a lot. Now, we'll see if they get a week off, and we'll see if they can keep that going, and we'll see who they got to play 2 weeks from now. But very, very impressive. So that's kind of my thoughts with those games. And then, yeah, Trent Williams in the play. So that's an effect. I expect he'll try to play with the hamstring injury. They're going to need him against that Philadelphia Eagles front line for sure. So it's let's see how long he can hold up. Chris already kind of mentioned that one of their starting linebackers is out for the season, so that's another injury that they gotta deal with. It's just the Niners seem like the Niners are the Lions, but just better from last year. You know what I mean? Like the Lions they got their asses whooped. It's just I think the Niners are going to put up a respectable fight on against the Eagles. I don't think they're going to look like the Lions how they look like against the Commanders last year. I think it's going to be a respectable fight that the Niners do. I just think they're tough-minded. They might even surprise. We'll see. But I just think their story is just too many injuries. But Seahawks, I'm impressed.
And then Ravens and Steelers. This game was more closer than what I thought. I thought the Ravens was going to run through these boys. But that Ravens defense didn't show up, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It was a back and forth. Zay Flowers got the lead with the touchdown, making it 24-20. And Rodgers marches down there. He gets the touchdown to Calvin Austin. And then the kicker, Boswell, he misses the kick. So I'm like, all right, all they got to do is get in field goal range. And they got to the 22. And my man Luke shank it right. Dang. And you knew instantly he fucked up because he was crying just when he kicked the ball. I had my man John Harbaugh carrying him damn near to the locker room. So Steelers are in the playoffs and the Ravens are out, man. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are that the Ravens blew another game. And this isn't Lamar Jackson's fault. It's not. It's not Lamar Jackson's fault. It's not even Zay Flowers' fault. Now I've had my questions about him. He had a great game. I blame this coaching staff, dog. I blame this coaching staff. The play calling was horrendous. Like, you started off doing right with Derrick Henry. You got to a 10-0 lead. Then for some reason you decided not to give Derrick Henry the ball. You decided to switch it up. You didn't use Lamar Jackson's legs at all. This is probably the healthiest I've seen him look since probably week 1, as far as like just the elusiveness and the quickness that he did have. You didn't try to use any of that. The Steelers defense isn't that good. Let's be real. Like, they look better than what they portrayed. Like, the moment they started opening up this offensive play calling, you saw the deficiencies with the Steelers defense. That back end is not good. The only person they got is Jalen Ramsey, but even then, he's getting a little older, man. He's getting a little bit more longer in the tooth. I don't think he's as quick as he used to be. Like, Zay Flowers is getting wide the fuck open. Like, to me, that was another example why the Ravens should get another weapon. This is my exact reason. You get another weapon. You didn't use any of your tight ends until probably like the end of the game when you threw that Isaiah Likely the ball, and he had a hell of a catch. It was a great throw, especially the positioning where you had the safety and the cornerback in the middle. He had to throw it at that high point, but it was still an amazing catch by Isaiah Likely. And you did not use him at all. You didn't even use Mark Andrews. So what was the whole point of the game plan? Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about with this organization. You don't put the best foot forward for this organization, GM wise and head coaching wise. John Harbaugh coach is scared. The OC is terrible at the play calling and the rhythm. Like, you just, when shit is working, you try to do shit ass backwards, and not, you do it one quarter and you don't do it the second quarter. I'm like, you keep pounding you keep pounding them. Pause. Until you know what I mean, man. You know what I mean, dog. Like, at the end of the day, it's just like, bro, why you go away from what was working in the first quarter? You saw what Derrick Henry's been doing these last 3 weeks. You saw it. You continue to give him the ball, and then you add the addition of Lamar Jackson. Why aren't you running RPOs the whole game? Like, that's all you should be doing. That shit would work all day, bro. All day. Like, y'all made what's my defense line? Cam. Y'all made Cam Hayward look like he was youthful Cam Hayward. TJ Watt just got back from a punctured lung, and he looked really good. You got these defensive backs looking like they're the second coming of like the Leech and the Boom. Like, what are we doing? And then the moment you open the play call in the fourth quarter, what happened? Quick, 3 plays, touchdown, Zay Flowers. Next drive, 3 plays, Zay Flowers. And golly, this defense is horrible. And again, I repeat, get rid of Kyle Hamilton. He's a great, great talent, but my man can never stay on the field when you need him the most. My God. And you just signed him to a new contract. Like, he's a great Hall of Fame talent, but he stayed hurt, bro. You cannot depend
Bob Sanders. He's a bigger version of Bob Sanders.
Yeah, bro. But at least Bob Sanders had that 1 year where he stayed healthy for the most part, and I think they won the Super Bowl that year.
They did.
So, like, but you can't get that from Kyle Hamilton because he never is healthy at this time. Like, every time I see Kyle Hamilton in the big game, he's always down, grabbing something, hurt, or he's getting wheeled off. He is really the true AD of this goddamn league, man. He really is, dog. And look, I don't want to hear nothing about Lamar Jackson, dog. I keep hearing this stuff that he can't win the big game. It's not him, dog. I get it. Maybe the first early couple years when he made the playoffs, yeah, he didn't show up. But these last 3 years, it was not him, dog. You had Mark Andrews with the drops. And look, I don't feel bad for Luke. Your main job is to make the goddamn field goal. They put you in great position to kick the field. It wasn't like it was a 60-yarder. I wouldn't be as mad at that because it's like, I get it. 60 yards is a little bit tougher. 50 yards, a little bit. Bro, you were at like the 25-yard line. That's an extra point kick. What are we talking about, dog? Like I don't feel bad for him, bro. You get paid to kick the ball in between the goalposts, bro. That was your job, and you failed. You failed your team. That press conference with Lamar Jackson tells me a lot. He don't fuck with Harbaugh, dog. He's over this. He's over Harbaugh. So the Ravens, what are you going to do? The line is drawn in the sands. You either pick Lamar Jackson or you pick John Harbaugh. If you pick John Harbaugh, you're setting your franchise back for years. I'm going to be honest with you, for years. You need to give Lamar Jackson a real weapon. You need to get an OC who knows how to make play calls, because the OC, well, who's the OC? Is it Tom Monken or something? Who is it?
Yeah, Todd
Monken. I like you, my brother. I know your name's been mentioned with some head coaching jobs, but you leave a lot to be desired as an OC. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. You guys are signing DeAndre Hopkins, who's been past his prime for 4 years now. Like, that's your big play. Does DeAndre, no disrespect to DeAndre, I think DeAndre Hopkins is a great wide receiver. Hall of Famer, I think we could have some talk about that maybe. But
I think he's Hall of
Famer.
I think he's Hall of Famer, but that's
I'm not saying he's not. I just think it's a conversation that people could have.
Yeah.
I think he's
first ballot, but I think he's
I think he'll eventually get in, but I'm just saying I think he's been past his prime for like 3 years now. But your main play was to sign him when you had options out there. Yeah. Potentials for trades out there. Devontae was right there. Deebo Samuel was right there.
I think Deebo would have been great in this offense.
Yeah, he would have been perfect. And the year he had this year, he had a really good year this year.
He did.
The receivers you had in the draft this past year, you could have signed. You could have tried to call the Saints and try to get Chris Olave. You could have tried to get DK Metcalf. He was available. You could have got Rashid Shaheed. He was available. You could have tried to pry Terry McLaurin from the Commanders. He was available at the time. He could have been available for trade. What are you doing?
Wow.
There was even talks about Tyreek Hill before he got hurt. Why didn't you try to go after Tyreek?
Hey. Jacoby Myers. You see what he doing with Jacksonville.
No, what are we talking about? So next year, you got likes of Joe Addison. You potentially could have T. Higgins. You could potentially have A.J. Brown. Like, you have these assets that you can literally make. You potentially could take this offense to the next level, but you're going to keep feeding me Rashad Bateman's and Zay Flowers and fucking old DeAndre Hopkins and shit. Like, what are we talking about, bro? What y'all gonna sign? Tim Brown? Y'all gonna ask Jerry Rice to come out of retirement? Like, what y'all doing? If I'm a Ravens, I feel for Ravens fans, bro. Like, I would be pissed as fuck. I'm not blaming Lamar for this shit. This is the organization and the coaching staff, because a coach scared, and this GM for some reason does not want to give him a goddamn receiver. They don't. And I know Boogie, we had this conversation where Boogie's, now you're gonna say, yeah, Boogie, I'm saying that, brother. If you can't see that, I don't know what else to tell you, bro. You could come on this show and debate me all you want. We can go back and forth, brother. There's still a lot of topics and I got love for you, my brother. I do. Happy New Year to you. But brother, come on, man. Even you gotta admit, like, bro, come on, man. That wasn't Lamar's fault. That wasn't, man. It was not. So I don't know.
Look, our game did not matter whatsoever, but it was the worst.
That was interesting to say the least.
It
was the worst shit I've ever seen.
Entertaining game.
We almost lost to 4 field goals. That's just bad.
Clark Hunt paid Patrick Mahomes whatever he wants.
Yeah, honestly, real talk. That really showed a lot of how much Patrick Mahomes has hit these last couple years, because my God, they're terrible. The Chiefs are fucking ass.
We're bad, dog. We are terrible.
Y'all on the same level as us. That was what it showed. Y'all on the same level as us.
Chris Olendokin, I don't want to see him on my team ever again. Fumbled on your own. One of them was popped out your hand, but you're just so reckless with the football, dog. Like, what are you doing? Shane Brissell, you tried. You ain't been on the team that long, you know what I'm saying? So I can't, you almost won us the game. with the Hollywood Brown strike down the field. I was like, oh, these niggas about to win.
Even your backup quarterback, he threw a couple balls. I was kind of impressed with. You know what I mean? I was like, I can see.
The people that I was impressed with the most was Rashard Smith. Would piss me off because I'm like, why y'all couldn't get him more touches?
Rashard Smith looked actually pretty good. He did.
Why ain't getting more touches, man?
I don't know. You know him, man. He loves him some Kareem Hunt and some Isaiah Pacheco.
Like, come on, man. Like, you saw he had way more juice, change of direction. There was one play where he ran right. It was blocked up. He ran all the way to the left. He was like, he can make things happen. I'm not saying I don't know if he's a 3-down back, but I think he could have been viable in the running game. It'd been better than what we got right now. Him and Kareem Hunt as a 1-2 punch, that would have been.
He could have played the McKinnon role.
Yes.
He could have played that McKinnon role.
And I love Noah Williams. I love Noah Williams, man. That kid was flying around. That hit he put on, I ain't think what's his name was gonna get up. Kenny Pickett. That cornerback blitz when he hit his ass, I was like,
He hit the fuck out of that motherfucker.
But he was balling. He was flying around. Jaden Hicks, finally, Spags. You played Jaden Hicks and you saw what happened. He stopped a damn touchdown.
Yeah,
like come on, man. Ashton Gelati, I like what I saw from him. Chris Jones was Chris Jones, but still, it was just like you see what happens when you play certain guys.
Yeah.
I laughed when Shamari Conner got that interception. I was like, that ain't gonna never. That's only the Raiders. That'll never happen nowhere else. But I was just happy we lost. I appreciate y'all winning, man.
Nah, for sure. Like it would have been very interesting to see what happened if the Giants did not win that game. I would have been very curious to see. Well, I think we both probably would have tried to play for a tie. I think that's would have been the result at the end of the day. honestly, real talk, because it was bad.
You know how I know they was in for the tank? When it was 3rd and 5, it was on 20-something seconds left, and my man Andy Reid said, "Timeout." Let's give Raiders a breather. I said, there you go, Andy. You don't get that nice thing, baby. Let's go.
I get it, bro. Like,
I had no timeouts left.
Nah, we didn't. I was like, at the end of the day, I wasn't tripping. I was like, it's cool. Like, I think, with the Giants win, I think it gave us a chance to, because at the end of the day, no matter how bad y'all were, we needed that win to kind of like just get over that, like y'all beating us every year in Allegiant Stadium. I think it's a good start to 2026. We got the first overall pick. We're technically undefeated in 2026. Like we need some good vibes, man. You end the year off with some smiles in that locker room. It's been kind of miserable. So I think we both won yesterday. Even with the result, I think both of us won. I think Chiefs fans should be happy that you guys got the 9th overall pick. You guys got to see some young talent that you guys haven't seen all year, just like us. We're kind of in the same boat where our coaching staff did not want to play the young guys. There were a couple guys I was really, truly impressed with. But at the end of the day, man, we got the win. We got some. I'm not going to sit here and brag about it. At the end of the day, it was a terrible ass game. But I think it's just good for morale with us beating the Chiefs and getting that hump of just not being able to beat y'all at home. And then you guys get the number 9 overall pick, the highest pick y'all have had since probably Patrick Mahomes. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win for both of us, man. And I'm ready for next year, bro. I'm ready to see my man Mendoza in that jersey and compete with y'all. I'm excited to see. I'm excited, man. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited, man. I think
I'm glad your morale is back up.
It is, man. We have hope, bro. We have hope, bro.
Because I'm telling you, the Giants have won their game, and we beat you.
No, if the Giants would have lost against the Cowboys and we beat y'all, bro, this episode would have been long for y'all.
But what would have been the lowest? You'd have been the 2 pick.
Yeah, the lowest we've been 2, but
Jets was gonna take Mendoza.
Yeah, but I think low key, I think if we were at number 2, I think Dante Moore would more likely come out because I think he would like to play for.
I learned that about Kristen Oladokin, Mark. I learned that from him.
Yeah, so we'll see. Draft should be very interesting this year. Depending on, I know a lot of people aren't excited about the names, but I'm excited to see what we do. You know what I mean?
Can't wait for the draft. Try to put a panel together for the draft this year.
Yeah, I think the trade deadline is going to be more exciting probably for the draft than anything else. I'm still excited for the draft, but I think trade deadline should be interesting this year.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Or not trade deadline, but free agency and stuff like that with trades.
But this year we should do a panel for the draft. Big panel. Let's see.
I'm with it. I'm calling.
All right, man. Before we get up out of here, we're not gonna do no predictions, but I did want us to talk about the playoff bracket. It's been set. Everything, all the teams are there. Let me pull this. All right, man. So if you see on the left side is AFC, on the right side is NFC. So you got you got the Texans and the Steelers. I think the Steelers are the 4th seed. The Texans are the 5th seed. You got Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I think, is the 3rd seed. And Buffalo's the 6th seed, and then the Patriots are the 2nd seed, and the Chargers are the 7th seed. And then you got the Broncos with the bye week. And then on the NFC side, you got the Panthers. They are the 4th seed. And then the LA Rams are the 5th seed. You got the Eagles at the 3rd seed, and the San Francisco 49ers are the 6th seed. And then you have the Bears are the 2nd seed, and the Green Bay Packers are the 7th seed. And you got the Seattle Seahawks with the bye week. So looking at the picture, what are your overall thoughts on the playoff picture this year?
Overall thoughts, I think the Rams got an easy one. 49ers and Eagles should be an epic battle, even with all the injuries with the Niners. It's just, I think they're very familiar with each other. I think it'll be very, very interesting. Green Bay and Chicago, that could be one of the best games of the week. I just think divisional rival games, just kind of the heated rivalry. Chicago gonna be lit for that game. They've been waiting for this for a long time. And then I wouldn't be surprised if it's snowing. You know what I mean? Caleb Williams is an exciting player to watch. Jordan Love, I know I have my critiques of him, but he's still an exciting guy. It's that game. I gotta watch that. I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah, for sure.
Texans Steelers. I was surprised this isn't the Monday night game a little bit. I thought they would have probably did the Bills Jags to be Monday night, but I get it. Steelers played a Sunday night game. They want to kind of give Aaron Rodgers as much rest as possible. I think they did that for him and only him. I think if it was a younger quarterback, I could see maybe they do the time slot up maybe a little bit differently. But I think the league respects Aaron Rodgers enough to give him that extra day. But it should be an interesting battle to say at least. That Pittsburgh ain't going up against the Ravens defense. They going up against probably top 1, top 2 defenses in the league. Like Texas defense is up there with the Seahawks. They might even be better. So
they are better.
So at the end of the day, it comes down, to CJ Stroud and what that offense could do. If that offense could do anything, we know what's up. Chargers Patriots, I think that could be a very interesting game just because of Harbaugh and the mental toughness that they do have. But the Patriots look like a well-oiled machine. They have a lot of explosive players with Trevion Henderson. Ramondre Stevenson has looked really good as well. Stephon Diggs, even with him choking out chefs and shit like that, he's still kind of balling out. And Drake May, I know we'll probably do. I talked about doing the awards today. We can do that on Wednesday, but award predictions. But I think he should be strong favorite to win MVP this year. And then look, Josh Allen, I think you're a great guy, brother, but if you don't get to the Super Bowl this year, I do not know what to tell you, brother. I do not know what to tell you. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. The Bills-Jaguars game, I might be the most excited to watch.
Yeah, that because Jacksonville
is good, bro. Jacksonville is good, bro. I know we talked a lot about Sunshine, but Sunshine has looked amazing.
They've been playing pretty good, dog.
Kobe Myers, Brian Thomas. Now look, I know Brian Thomas got checked out for a concussion. It was a little worrisome in that game this past weekend, but I think he cleared it, so I think he should be okay for this game. But imagine if they had Travis Hunter on that defensive side, bro.
Yeah,
Jaguars would be dangerous. So I think that's going to be a key game. I think if I had to rank my top 3 games to watch, I would probably go Niners, Eagles 3, Packers, Bears 2, Bills, Jags 1. That's probably my top 3 games in that order. So
Saturday is Rams and Panthers, and then the night game is Packers and Bears, and then Sunday you got Bills and Jaguars kicking it off. You got 49ers in the middle, 49ers and Eagles in the middle, and then Chargers Patriots Sunday night, and then of course you talked about the Texans Steelers Monday night football. So
look, we got football from Thursday to Monday, man. It's gonna be a great week of football, man. It's gonna be a great week of football. So
you got all the college football stuff.
Yeah, you got college football. Like that. Let's enjoy it, man. Football season is ramping down quick. So, before we know it, we'll be getting ready for Super Bowl. So I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, man. So we'll give our picks on Wednesday. We'll just do the wild card weekend and just go.
Yeah, we'll just do wild card. Yeah, we'll do wild card and we'll do the college football playoffs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's been a report though that Michael Jackson movie. They're gonna do some heavy promotion for this movie, and supposedly they have bought a $5 million slot to put the real trailer out on Super Bowl Sunday.
From Michael Jackson trailer? I thought they put it out already.
That was a teaser.
Oh well, let me go. I'm curious to see it. You know what I mean? We'll see what's up. A lot of people are probably gonna watch that Michael Jackson, but you saw the other reports about Black Panther, right? Damson Idris is rumored to be playing Black Panther for Avengers Doomsday. Do you like that? You like that?
Yeah,
I love it.
I actually like it. He fits.
I think he fits. Yeah.
We'll see how his African accent sounds.
I think he'll be good. I know he's from like England or something like that, but them Brits, hey, they're good at the accents, man.
But most of them Brits, their families are from
yeah, for sure. Their families. I think it's a great pairing for Damson. You know what I mean? I think he's a great actor. I think it's a big shoes to fill, man, with Chadwick. God bless his soul. You know what I mean? It's a big role to fill, man, because a lot of people still have their feelings about them recasting Black Panther. You know what I mean? I know that's kind of been a big topic. I know I'm reading tweets, it's kind of like they're not mad at him, but at the same time, it's just like they don't want to recast it out of respect for Chadwick. But at the end of the day, I think it's been enough time, respectfully, and eventually they were going to have to recast it. Like, at the end of the day, Chadwick will always be the number one Black Panther especially in our community. There's nothing that's ever going to change that. He's one of the all-time greats. He could have been up there with, I think he is up there with Denzel Washington, just with the impact that he has been, especially with that one role. But imagine what he could have been if he was still around, and some of the roles and some of the portrayals that he could have been. All-time greats.
42 his role.
Yeah, all-time greats. Yeah,
he's done some other movies that was very impactful. So
yeah, for sure. Like, no, obviously, but just imagine if he was here, like he would hit all-time great. Like he would be up there with the Denzel Washingtons, the Morgan Freemans, all that type of stuff. Even though I think there's conversation that he could still be potentially up there. He was gone too soon. But at the end of the day, moving forward, Damson, I think it's a great pick. I think he'll fit that. I think he'll put enough energy in it where I think he will portray Black Panther the way Chadwick would have. And I think it'll be great. I can't wait to watch Avengers Doomsday and see. I've seen a couple of the trailers. They haven't dropped a real trailer. It's been like, Chris Evans is back, Thor's back, but hopefully they'll drop the trailer. They're supposed
to be dropping another one.
The 10th, I think. I think it's like January 10th or something. Hopefully it's a real trailer. Hopefully it's not just like, we'll see. Maybe they'll do a Damson trailer or something for Black Panther, and then maybe it's the lead up to Super Bowl where they give us the real trailer. I think it may be that some situation like that.
Did you finish it, sir?
No, I did finish it. Yeah, I did finish it. Yep.
And what was your overall thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I loved it. I understand your premise and why people were questioning, like, why is it going backwards? But I understood it though, because of I guess him being able to travel back in time and stuff like that. I would say this. The only thing that really annoyed me about the last episode was just how long it took them to put that fucking stone in the goddamn tree. It was just so long and drawn out. I'm like, bro, come on, dog. Like, come on, dog. I was like,
Richie had to make it look good for my man Richie.
But come on, man. I get it. They were trying to fill up the last like 10 minutes to make it an hour. But my God, this nigga was skip to my Lewin all the way to the goddamn tree. And these 4, 5, 25 kids could not push this goddamn stone until shout out to my man who came back from the dead, who helped
Richie, man. Shout out to Richie, man. Rest in peace, Richie, man.
Rest in peace to Richie. That shit was sad. Seeing him die, that was sad.
Yeah.
That was tough. That was tough. But and then obviously I think that whole scene of the shack being burned, that was a tough watch, especially, just kind of like, the racial barriers behind all that stuff. And I get it. I understand it. But it was just tough to watch. You know what I mean? It just,
and then you drop Pennywise.
You just drop Pennywise in that shit. And this is like, Pennywise, man, the way they portrayed Pennywise was amazing. I loved it.
He was on 10.
He was on 10. It was dope. It was dope, especially how he killed the Colonel. I enjoyed that. The Colonel was a dick.
Yeah, he was stupid.
He
I'm gonna
was
release you so you can help us in the war. Like,
that's dumb. But I think I'm excited to see the the future. I'm assuming like we probably won't get the new one until probably like 2028. I'm assuming probably around that time, maybe next summer or something, maybe next fall.
2027 because they already
started filming.
I don't think they started filming, but they already got the premises of next 2 seasons. So season 2 is in 1935 is going to be about the Barnaby game. I don't know if you've ever watched the whole intro fully through where they show different clips. And I don't know if you've seen the part where the gang is standing there and they're getting shot up
in the first episode of Welcome to Derry.
Well, it's like the intro. You know how you do the intro?
Yeah.
The little music or whatever. And they showing the different
cartoon
clips or whatever. And you see the gang like getting shot up, but they got guns in their hand.
Yeah.
They're going to show and actually, it was in the first or the second episode. It was in the second episode where they found their car in the dirt. They had digged
I remember that.
Those bodies is in there. Yeah. That's the Barnaby gang. So that's what that season is going to be about. Because a lot of people, they like the town forgot about that day, and people have different recalls of people because you can see it in the intro. You see Pennywise hanging up the window with a gun in his hand, shooting. So people have said they saw a clown out the window, like standing literally out the window shooting somebody, and then it's like they forgot about it because they said the town killed the Barnaby gang. So that's going to be about, and then then they're going to go back to 1908, where it's going to talk about the ironworks factory fire, where you see that's also in the intro where you see people running out and they're on fire. That's going to be season 3.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I could, then maybe I could see it coming around the same time this one came out, but just late 2027. So
and then I'm assuming that each season they're going to be connected to somebody from this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Try to go back and kill these set of kids so they can stop whatever. And
then like the dads and the moms and shit.
And then keep it going. So, but it was a great series. Dick Halloran, man, I feel bad for that dude.
He went through a lot.
Oh man, I don't know how he lived through that. I understand. I mean, I don't promote offing yourself, unaliving yourself, but man, them dead people coming at you asking them questions.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
That would have drove me crazy. What? But I thought everybody did a good job. All the kids, I thought they all did a good job. Everybody did an exceptional job, and Bill Skarsgård, man. Hey man, I'm pushing this. Hey, yo, James Gunn, go holler at Bill Skarsgård for your next Joker. I think he would kill the Joker role, man.
Yeah, I think he would too. He already plays the clown, so
you
know what I mean. It's just the clown,
he'll put a little bit of that in there, but just more Joker type. Go ahead and cast him as the Joker in your new.
It'd be interesting.
In your DC, because of course, he got Matt Reeves version, but he's gonna do his version too. So go ahead and put Bill Skarsgård as your Joker.
Yeah, we ain't getting no Batman anytime soon, anyway. So
no, we're not. So, but no, it was a great series. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? Did you watch Stranger Things?
I have not started Stranger Things. I've heard mixed reviews about it, but I'm gonna start that. I got a pick comes out this week, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that. There's a lot of stuff coming out. You know what I
mean? Listen, I think the worst thing that happened to Stranger Things, and I know they're not the same thing, but they're parallel, kind of, was Welcome to Derry.
What you mean? Like the competition?
I think it was the worst thing that happened to Stranger Things because it was because when you do when the first season, this is almost like Penguin. The first season was so great, and then you trying to compete with that, it's just like, because it's the new fresh thing. It's like it's new. Yeah. Whereas in Stranger Things, we've been investing in this shit since these little niggas was kids. Now they all grown-ups playing kids, so it's kind of like weird now, but it's still good. This is like, I thought part 1 was better than part 2. I put it to you like
Yeah.
that. It was part 2 was cool, but part 1 was better.
Is it like gory and shit, or is it like?
No, it's not gore. It is, but it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't want to ruin it. Just
is it more suspense? Is it more horror? Like what is it?
It's more sci-fi.
Sci-fi horror or sci-fi suspense?
Sci-fi horror with a little bit of suspense.
No, okay. I'm gonna check it out. Like I gotta watch that. Again, there's so many shows I still gotta catch up on, like Alien Earth. I still gotta watch that. Yeah. Like I think Game of Thrones is coming out soon. What else is coming out? This is a whole bunch of shit I gotta catch up on. Stranger Things is gonna be my next one. I finished it like 2 weeks ago, and then obviously I'm excited for Pitt. I love that show. So
yeah, that show.
I think it come out Wednesday.
Yeah,
no, come out Wednesday or Thursday. One or two.
I think they every Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it comes out like the 7th or something, 7th or 8th, something like that. But I'm excited for it. So let's see what's up.
For sure. You got anything else, player?
Do I got anything else? Nah, man, I don't think so. I don't know.
All right, man. Who gets your flowers of the week?
Flowers of the week. I'm gonna give it to my homegirl, Erica, my twin. It was her birthday a couple of days ago, so I want to shout her out. Happy birthday to Erica Roman. You know, shout out to her. Hopefully, I can see her soon. Besides that, nah, man, I ain't got nothing else.
I'm gonna go up first. I'm gonna give my flowers to Myles Garrett. He broke the record, so you got to give him his flowers, man. He's one of the greatest defensive ends we've ever seen. He's the best in the league right now. I know he's on a bad team, but he still doesn't take away from his greatness. Mm-hmm. I would love to see it. You know, I don't root for no other team, but as far as a player, he's a guy that I wouldn't mind seeing hosting up a Lombardi. And then I got to give my flowers to my lady, man. It was her birthday yesterday. Like I told y'all, you know what I'm saying? Spent time with her this weekend. But it was officially her birthday yesterday. So got to definitely give her flowers and give her flowers because she starts her new job tomorrow. So
what? She got a new job?
Yeah, she transferred to a new position. So
that boss finally took her out. She's like, fuck that shit.
Yeah. So
shout out to her. Peace of mind is always good.
Shout out to my lady, man. She got a new job. So that's good on her.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Who gets your hell no?
Hell nah. I'm gonna give it to Aiden Ross, man. All that stuff he keep talking about Doechii and all that stuff I've been seeing on the line. I guess he beefing with Joe Budden now and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Ain't him and Drake getting sued?
Yeah, he getting sued
for some gambling scheme thing.
Gambling for beefing up his streams too. It's like some wild shit like that. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Aiden. Bro. I think he a clown. I don't understand why he became so popular.
Although, hey, Drake, you need to go back to acting, man. I've been seeing them clips of that show.
What show?
Office Movers. I guess it's based in Toronto.
It's a new one.
It's a new show. It's season 2 of the show, but it's these two brothers. They're black dudes, but it's about them trying to salvage their moving company. And Drake he's part of a company, but he's like this like ruthless. He's almost like a gangster. Like
it's not good.
You gotta watch it. It's funny.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The stuff that he's doing, like he real serious.
Nah, shit. What's it called?
Office Movers. You go on TikTok because a lot of people on TikTok are like mimicking how they take.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you just gotta watch it for yourself. But I was like, he still can act. He's still a pretty good actor.
No one knows that.
He's funny. He's funny as hell.
I'll check it out. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just give it to Aiden. That's my hell no.
I ain't got no hell no's this week.
Yeah, ain't really much going on. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you know, you got old Orange Man trying to put in some orange shit, but you know that shit. You know what I mean? So see what up. But I ain't
trying to get that Venezuela, and they said nope.
This motherfucker talk about it made in Cuba and all that type of shit. I'm like, bro, oh my god. I'm like, bro, this motherfucker did that day two of 2026. I'm like, oh my god. Like, bro, we can't even make it 3 weeks without this motherfucker doing some wild, weird shit. I'm like, bro, come on, man. My god. If this is the start of 2026, I can only imagine where it goes from here.
Yeah,
man. That's we can just make it.
Well, hopefully.
Hopefully we can just make it.
All right, good people. If you look at the screen, you see the QR code. No, not that one. This one. There you go. You see the QR code for the WWE shop. Scan it. You go to it. You get all the latest merch from all your top superstars in the WWE. You got Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, Carmelo Hayes. Shout out to him. He just won the U.S. belt. Trick Williams just came over too on SmackDown. Shout out to him. You got Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and many, many more. Just scan that QR code and get it.
I saw a video of what's my name? Trick Williams' son. He came out on SmackDown or something.
That's what I'm saying. He came out with the Lemon Pepper Steppers.
Okay. That was his first debut. Was that his debut or something?
Well, he showed up the week before talking to the GM saying, like, you gonna sign me? What's up? So he ended up signing with SmackDown. It was his time to move up.
For sure.
His girl is on SmackDown too. So
who's his girl?
Last Legend.
I don't know who that is. She bad.
Cute little chocolate chick. She used to play basketball for Mississippi State. She actually used to play with Kennedy Carter.
Oh yeah, Kitty Carter.
But no, she's dope. She does her thing. He just proposed to her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they've been together for a while too. So, but him and Carmelo Hayes are really close too. And Carmelo just won the U.S. belt, so they're trying to get more talent on that SmackDown roster, which they need. Also, if you want to donate to the Cris Style Mal podcast, you can donate to Cris Mal Podcast. We'll appreciate anything you donate to us, whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, whatever you use, we're available. First time watchers on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that notification button, that like button, because on Mondays, you can jump in the live with us on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesdays 9-ish p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Jump in the live with us like Mark does and give us your opinion. Agree with us, disagree with us. We want to hear from you. Listening on the playback, leave your opinions in the comment section and we will respond back. And whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, Facebook, whatever you use, we are available. Follow us at Cris Style Mal. We will follow you back. Just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, movies, and all kinds of various other things. Also, if you have critiques or feedback, or if you have a question or topic, and we like that question or topic, we will bring it up. We will shout you out. If you want to show love to those who show love to us, so go ahead and decide to you. All right, good people. Until Wednesday, hope you guys have a good couple of days. We will be back to give our picks for playoffs on both sides, college football and NFL, and random news. The latest news comes up. Until Wednesday,